All right, greetings, family. This is Bomani Tyehimba and family. We are live on Revolutionary Cam, and tonight we have another live with myself, Bomani Tyehimba, and my good brother, Kala Genesis. So tonight's topic is Africa serious about Black power and nation building? Afrikstan analysis with Bomani Tyehimba and Kala Genesis. So we're going right into it, family. You know, we've been talking about Afrikstan, we've been talking about Liberia, we've been talking about this Black power African nation building, reconnecting the African diaspora to the African continent. We've been talking about the great contributions of the Africans in the diaspora and our this journey and our fight to reconnect back with our own people on our own land. And now we're just looking to find out and looking to get into the conversation, the real conversation. Is Africa serious about Black power and nation building? So that could be yes, that could be no, but we're going to get into it. Greetings, my brother, Kala Genesis. How you feeling today?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great. You know, I'm always
yes,
ready.
Man. You ready for another show? The dynamic duo back in town.
I'm telling you, man. Like I said, we're here every Saturday night for God's willing. I'll be here, you know, as long as Bomani's ready, I'm ready. You know, we're gonna do this, you know, because this is serious. This is a heart attack. You know, this movement here is serious as a heart attack. If not us, then who? You know,
absolutely, definitely. When you talk about serious, man, I see you all over the internet at times, man, on different shows and everything, and you've quite been a controversial person.
Yeah, I was called.
I don't think a lot of people know who you really are, and just wanted you to give us a brief introduction about your debating skills and where you go back, because it seemed like you're always on the debating mode.
Always. That's what
are you a great debater?
I am, man. I'm saying, dude, I study Kung Fu. Yin and Yang, right? And in Kung Fu and fighting Kung Fu, right, is different from boxing where you use force, whatever. Kung Fu, we use energy. Somebody throws a punch, you absorb it, and then you put it back at it. It's like a flow. You put somebody's energy, you deflect, you flow. And so therefore you use that same thing with debating, right? If somebody has a good point, right? This is when people make a mistake with debating. If somebody has a good point, right? What you do is you sit back and say, okay, I get that. I get that. And then what you do is you take their point, right? That they're going to use against you and say, look, let me interpret that a little better. So you like this. So you take their point and make it yours, right? And then once they basically giving you, and then you go back to whatever they said, right? And then poke holes into what inconsistencies, like this. And it also has to do with this. When you debate somebody, right? Never debate something that you're 100% not sure about. Okay? When you're not sure about. If you don't not sure about something, I'll say, I can't substantiate that and everything. Why? Because if you're wrong, right, you could be winning the debate by 99%. But that person will use that one thing to discredit you. Then no matter what you say is wrong. So that's why when you debate somebody, right, you stick to the point. You take their premise away from them, right? A good debate is this, right? Someone will say, no, we should not. Black people in America should stay in America. We're in Africa. Okay, let's say that's your point, right? We're Americans. We're not Africans, right? Well, there's Chinese that have been living in Chinese for thousands of years. They're going to Africa making money. So is that good or bad? Well, I don't know. No. The Chinese are going to Africa, building communities and everything like that in Africa. Is that good or bad? Well, good. Okay, so you admit that, right? The Lebanon's a shithole country, has no money, no infrastructure, no anything. They make 90% of their income looting Africa. The money they make in Africa, they send back to Lebanon, right? Is that good or bad? They're taking money out of Africa, right? That's bad. But the Lebanese are there. And they're building communities. Indians, same thing. If they go, the same Indians, right? When Idi Amin kicked them out in 1971, they couldn't go back to India. There was nothing in India for poverty. So basically, the Indians did well in Africa, right? So the black people in America say, you know something? I got skills and something to contribute to Africa that Africa might need. Why can't we build in Africa and make money and live like everybody else? So you tell me the Indians could do this, right? They're not black. You know, the Chinese could do it. The Europeans could do it, right? But the only group of people you're telling me that can't go to the continent are black African Americans. Well, I'm just saying. I'm saying, wait a minute here. Oh, say now, people say another thing. I say, okay, do you admit that we live in a global world? Yeah. That means that you'll have Chinese on H-1/2 visas, right? Who are here studying and becoming doctors and everything like that, right? Are you telling me the black men in America, right, are the only group of people that cannot be into the global economy? Now, what if a black man decided to live? There's a lot of black people from America live in Japan. Is that okay? Yes. So you got a lot of black people live in China right now, Beijing, China. You remember the movie Karate Kid with Will Smith's son? Mother got a job in China. Okay, right. So in other words, basically, why is it such a big deal when black people say they're going to Africa? What is it? Can you just admit that you just don't want black people in America to have any sort of connection with Africa? It has nothing to do with opportunity and everything. It has everything to do with you don't want to see this happen because that threatens your position in America. You're still trying to sell yourself on America. Oh, this is our country and everything. And so us building in Africa, now, if you really were secure in what you say about America, you wouldn't be threatened by black people talking about building in Africa. See, that's how you win the debate. You know, you don't go back and say, I'm going to fuck America. I say, look, I understand black people in America, most black people are going to be in America. There's a lot of opportunity here. But right. What if they find opportunity in Africa? Should they not do it? The black people like Eugene Jackson and all these people that Blacks Without Borders, should they have stayed in America? Now, the African Venture Partners, they said they was on the back end of $1 billion deal with Richard Branson's mobile group, Virgin Group. I said, should they have stayed in America, right? They said in America, they said they had a glass ceiling. In South Africa, they were the fucking man. They were the glass ceiling. So they basically, by your logic, they should stop making these millions of dollars that they do with the hedge fund and everything in South Africa and come back to America and start on the bottom again. No, that's what I'm saying. So who in America, black America, can't go to Africa? Who can? So in other words, somebody says, well, what are you talking? I said, I'm not talking about every black person get on a boat and pack and go to Africa. I'm talking about those who have the means, those who can be used in Africa to build something should go. I'm not saying everybody quit your job tomorrow in Walmart and get on a plane ticket and go to Africa. That's not what we're saying. But that's what they put in your mouth.
Well, perfect point, Kala. And before you even get into your introduction about your background and things, appreciate you making a great point on the debating and we're going to analyze some of the things you're talking about. But what I want to do, family, definitely wanted to share you a few of our, a few marketing information before we get deep into the conversation. So here we... Right, and this is also just directly in reference to what we're talking about. We're talking about looking to make more serious moves on the African continent. So we want to let people know that we're just not here talking and debating. We have things in place and we're always working on things. We're not just people who just get on YouTube to just talk. All right, Kala, can you see this flyer?
Black Star Pan-African community.
All right, perfect. So family, that is our link, our connection. And I'm always telling everyone if they're looking for any of our information, because reading is fundamental. The most important thing when anyone is looking to do any of these ventures, whether it's the Africa Tours, which I'll show that flyer in a few, and Africa Investment, which is this real estate investment for us to build our own community, because these are the things that we have to start focusing on. And as we get more into the conversation, we're going to talk about more so how that small percentage of us from the African diaspora that are making our move over to the African continent, we must make sure that we connect with other like minds of us, especially from the diaspora, so we can build what we need to build on the African continent, because most of our people anywhere is not serious. Whether you ask if our people serious here or whatever location or parts of the world. So realistically, what we're dealing with is the best of our people, and building these unique communities is a connection that literally you're forging to where now you're in whatever African country you're in. In this case, we're in Ghana. Now we can, do all the things that we need to do. We can make our moves that we need to make without feeling like we're going to get shaken down, because now we have representation by people who got our back. Now we're getting things done by people who got our back and have our best interest. And this also basically just introduce us and just get us connected to where it's an easier path now for all the other things that we want to do all over the African continent. So this community is up and running. Homes are being built. Land is available. And we have a whole lot of details, a lot of videos, a lot of photos. and there's lots of information on our website. And this is the this actually is a brochure flyer, so it just folds up and you get right to the point on this part of the brochure. The 15 and the 60-acre site plan, the 15 acres site layout, and then just a few pictures of homes that were coming up. These homes are completed. The one in the middle and the one below it is almost completed. And just some details of our project itself. So family, that is one of the main things we want to let everyone know. Just literally click and read, and then you can always send me an email if you want the email detail. That way you have all of the attachments. And let me switch to this other flyer. So as we're talking about nation building, as you can see, family, we're putting the work into building our community and putting things in place. We have an office going and things like that in place to where we can get things set up. And now, the foundation is the most important thing that, you need to build, and that's what we're building. And this is our flyer of our incredible journey. And this is an incredible schedule that covers November and December this year. That's Tanzania and Ghana. And then all of next year, 2023, I have an incredible schedule, 5 journeys across 6 countries. And that is all in 2023. So we have Senegal, the Gambia, Ghana, Liberia, Tanzania, and South Africa. And we have that special Liberia journey right there in the middle of summer. That's the only country that we have not been to, and we're looking to forge the foundation to where we're going to be literally just reconnecting you on an incredible journey. And it's this is the second country that we're really focusing on investments, and then we're not just focusing on investment; we're doing it on a high level to where we just literally look into this. Use everything that we have learned and put in place to where we can have some nice options for those who want to live and do business in Africa, specifically right there in Liberia. And Brother Kala is going to break it down. But let me share that flyer with you also.
Mm-hmm.
And Kala, you've seen how this flyer that we have put together.
Well, I love it.
From Liberia, you've seen how we have put it together from the ground, especially with a lot of your help and our good brother, Brother Ross, there in Liberia. I know sometimes when people look at the flag, they're like that look like the American flag.
No, I'll tell you a story about that. Liberia's flag is actually older than the official United States flag. The United States flag was just a Navy flag. Flag,
No, go back a little bit because you're gonna lose people with this one. And when you say that the Liberia flag is older than the U.S. flag, you gotta really explain that one.
Okay, well, the first Liberia flag had a cross and it had the bars and stripes on it, right? And then they said no, something had to be symbolized as Liberia. That lone star on the blue background, the dark background, means the lone star of Africa, right? The 11 bars means valor, bloodshed, and stuff like that on the flag. It had nothing to do with the United States flag, right? The star, that one star, lone star, right? Wasn't the United States have 50 stars and stripes and everything. The lone star means the Africa at the time, right, was colonized and controlled by Europeans and all kinds of things that's going on. But on the African continent, that's light. Liberia symbolized a light. The black people from the West and America coming and building a republic. The lone black republic on the continent. That's what that means. The lone star. That's why they call it the Lone Star. Liberia is called the Lone Star Republic. That means the Lone Star. And to this day, right, we see what's going on in Sierra Leone with all the violence and everything, the conflict in the Ivory Coast and Guinea and coups and everything. Liberia is like a citadel of peace, and hope for the black diaspora. The only country in Africa that openly welcomes the black people from the West, with no qualms about it. Okay. On the bottom is a seal. It says, "To the love of liberty brought us here." Love of liberty. What does that mean? Why is that so important? Right? Liberty means that we're not living under a king. We're not living under a chief or rule. We're people, black men and women that rule themselves. So in other words, basically, you live in freedom and liberty and tranquility. You know, without it, that was revolutionary for the whole entire world. Most people around the world lived in bondage or under some stewardship or colonized and everything. Liberia, these black people from America said, this is what we want. We want a republic where we can just live our lives. And the way Liberia was set up, right, was black people over there, just like the Black Star community right now, built independent communities. Basically, the government, they had a government in Liberia, but most people built their own communities up the St. Paul River, the Farmington River. They built these independent communities where they were completely self-sufficient and handled their own affairs. And all the government did made sure was to guard the coastline and protect them, the sovereignty. So in other words, basically, it was like an egg inside of a shell. The shell keeps the egg safe, you know. And inside Liberia was all these independent black farming communities that lived their own lives, built their own churches, and worked to, and they were completely free. The only place on earth where black people were free to walk around without having to worry about slavery, without having to worry about the Ku Klux Klan, without having to worry about racism and everything, because everybody that was in power around you was black or looked like you. And they set their own representatives to the government. You know, the different settlements had a representative. They sent it to the national body to represent them. Same way America does, you know. They sent a representative to represent us in Monrovia and stuff. So it was basically a prototype of a free black republic that should have been duplicated all over the continent. In fact, Liberia sovereignty right now was actually twice as big as it is right now. It lost a lot of land to France and England, you know, on the surrounding borders. In Nimba County, where we're going to go on this trip, is San Quelle. San Quelle was a holdout. The Mono tribe there recognized that they had two options, right? Because they knew about Samora Toure, the famous warrior, right? The famous warrior who was beaten by the French. And a lot of those Samora Toure people came to Liberia and they made a stand. We call it Afrikstan, stand, you know. And Nimba, the people of the Mono said, they declared their allegiance to the Republic of Liberia. And that's where the line stopped, right there in San Quelle. If you look at Liberia, it looks like a middle finger. It looks like it's pick up a middle finger to France, you know, surrounding territory. Now, the people on the other side of the border who sided with France didn't understand that they were being colonized. And so when time in Britain, they looked up and said, wait a minute here. Why are you telling us what to do? Why are you taking our land? Well, this is French territory. They didn't know that the Berlin Conference had happened. And the bottom line, France had claimed this territory. And so they became unwitting participants. Now, the Liberians that sided with Liberia kept their territory, and they're free to this day. Proof of what I'm talking about is in Liberia, you have a lot of people that speak French. Why, if France was so great, why do you got these people from Guinea and the Ivory Coast living in Monrovia? Because those countries don't have freedom. You know, you could say all you want, but Liberia was a symbol of, because those people want to live in a black republic. That's why they went to, it was too late. You know, in fact, when Guinea got its independence, Guinea tried to give that territory back to Liberia. Said, okay, and Tubman said, no, no, I'm not going to do that to Sekou Touré. That's part of Guinea now. You can have it. He was going to give all that area to the Guinea Highlands back to Liberia to spike the new independence movement in Guinea and Ivory Coast and all these countries that wanted independence. They wanted to try to give that territory, and Liberia said no. That's let them have the independence. They can have the territory. So therefore, this country was where the OAU was formed. And they said, look, it was in Liberia that the idea of the African organization Africa was formed by people for over decades. We're talking about uniting the continent after World War II, uniting the continent under one massive government. Okay, and they went to just think about this, right, folks, right, about Liberia. First of all, the country, the fact that it existed at all is remarkable. How they kept its independence, right, while all the rest of the world and Africa was colonized, right? And then the same country decided that it was going to organize Africa under one government. And so therefore, just as crazy as it sounds, they said, look, well, Liberia, we're used to doing things out of the ordinary. They started talking to different nationalists all over the continent who used to gather in Monrovia. You know, all the nationalists from the continent always went to Monrovia. Young men always went there to study, to drink, to party, and everything. They loved Liberia. They said, look, this is what we want for our country. So they say coin the idea. What if we had an organization of African unity? And basically, Liberia saying that we're not a Negro state. You know, we are a Black African state, and so we're all Black Africans. And so the question that we ask tonight is: Africa serious about this? Before you can be serious about this, you have to ask yourself this question: why so many Africans? I'm listening to them online, right? Who I listen to people like that stupid African millennial and everything, who think race and everything is something Black people in America are so obsessed by. That's what they say. Nick, Afro dumbass, and all these other people. You guys are always obsessed with color. We don't identify with color and race. Do you understand that the you may not identify with color and race, but the white man does? The white man that wants to take your shit and colonize you and destroy you. That Bill Gates who says that we need to get rid of half the African population. He sees race and color, but you're the only fool that walks around talking about I don't see race and color. The Chinese see race and color. They're right. They're Chinese. They're trying to win for the Chinese. The Lebanese see race and color. Do you see Africans marrying Lebanese women? No. You know, the only group of people that don't want to protect themselves and protect these women is the Black African. So if you don't want to protect yourself for your women,
made a point. Let me jump on in, Kala. Let me let you get a breather, man. You've been going. Yeah. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you just being live and direct. And let me just add into these things because we have a lot of people out there that that's what I'm always wondering, man. It's like every time you turn around, you have another clown on YouTube run them out like they know what they're talking about as far as just building anything. That's why I made sure that I showed everyone the postcards and the flyers that we had before on our Africa tours and also our community. Let people know that it's serious and it's hard work to get this even the basic stuff done, you know. And people feel free just to just sit back and talk and just on a mic and just talk because they just looking to this get attention. But the reality of it is everyone else in the world sees race. And what I learned from Marcus Garvey, our greatest inspiration, he explained to us the reason why Africa must be for the Africans or Africa for the Africans. And the same thing you just finished mentioning, Kala, so I wanted to just continue from you. When you mentioned about the Lebanese, and I'm with you, Lebanon is a war-torn country, but if you talk about the Lebanese in Africa, they're a dominant force. They're serious people about building. And the same thing you talk about the Chinese, they're serious people on their, there's no Chinese content on the
they're Team China. They're winning. China has to win.
Yeah, that's but I'm trying to let people know that China operates from their country as a main base, and then they also operate in the in their diaspora or whatever they call it. But it's like I don't think anyone can ever tell me that they went somewhere and they didn't see a Chinese restaurant as a Chinese people or Little China or Small China or anything relevant to China or a Chinese sign. I've been to over 35 countries, and trust me, family, it's impossible. Their presence is everywhere on the planet. Now, who are the most dominant people as far as this population? Us as a people. Well, the issue also with that is that we're divided by so many subgroups of people. Even some places you may go, whether it's Dominican Republic, Panama, you ask people how they feel about being labeled as Black. You may get a different feeling from someone from Jamaica or someone from America, and then when you go on the African continent, you have something else. But and I'm telling people that people have to look at our situation. There's no other people that's been divided across all lines. From racism to classism to this ism, schism to from the religion to the different political groups, just continuously division. But the reality of it is all these things are being worked against us. And while everyone else is telling us to be individuals, they're playing group economics. And that's why I always push up our logo, Africa for the Africans, because that's what it has to be. So when these people talk about they don't see race and things like that, you're playing a game that you just already defeated in. So we as a people, what we have to do, brother, it is because 99% of our people it seems like they'll always stay brainwashed. But it's at least if the people that are visionaries get together and put things in place, some of them will follow. Example, we have a very small percentage of people that are interested in going to Africa. And as we put more things in place and we begin to explore more, we have more and more people come. Because I remember 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, it was just, people open to travel, but as far as just living kind of set up, more people are doing it. And as the mistakes are being made, people are learning from it. But as the question that we titled here, is Africa serious about Black power and nation building? And it's both answers, yes and no. So let me go with the no part first. The no part is, all right, me and you, we're from the African diaspora. I'm from Jamaica, you're from America. We have great backgrounds. We know a lot of intelligent, sharp people that can contribute to any country. But in order for them to contribute to any country, they need to get things set up for them. And they can't just be some, like just any other citizens, any other people that come there, like the Chinese and the Indians, Not saying that we need to get special privilege. Well, I'm saying we need to get special connection because we're stolen from our continent. We're the only people. When people talking about, well, when the white people come here and do this, like when I talk to some of the people I do business with, I was like, don't compare us to no white people, because white people did not go through what we went through. White people were not stolen from their home. We're stolen from our homes, and then now we have to prove our DNA and do all kind of stuff to return back. So I would say no on that part, because if it was yes, then our people on the African continent would have a better reach out. Do we need to also have a better reach out? Absolutely, but we are reaching out from the diaspora. But the lack of reach out and the lack of things are being put in place. Like, example, you're in Ghana, then you got to get this, you got to get that, you got to pay for this costs this, and everything just becomes a situation where it's a money game, and you're literally, all you're doing is just spending, instead of the resources that you're bringing is being more in an investment and it's growing. But those things can only happen if you get more of the connections and more of the things that you need in place, and so on. So that's to be determined. And we have our brothers and sisters that's from different African nations and in America and Europe. Some are looking to, some are taking care of whole families, and some are going back and forth and doing things, and some are living the good life, and that's not their focus. And then we have some people in the African continent doing well for themselves, and the goal is not, let me just reinvest my money back and build a factory so my community can have work and things like that. So that's what I mean. The no situation. We're not putting enough in place to really get more attention from the people. And I've been here in Georgia, and we have meetings all the time, and I meet all kind of people as we connect and do a whole lot of networking. And they always look at me as the African man for the last 15 years, and people like, yeah, you've been to this country. And so when I start talking, they're open and they want to do things with us. But then when they see the things that goes on, they're like, well, you're having a rough time dealing with certain things. And you explain that, yeah, we have to build a strength in numbers. But when you're talking about people who have their money and they want to invest, they're not just quick to just invest like that. They want to know, is the country going to have a stable government? Are people going to be rioting and looting because of this or that situation? So if we want more for our people to take us serious, we're going to have to step our game up on all fronts. So I'm not one of the people that be picking at, one set of groups of us. I try to be as fair as possible, honestly. And so when you're talking about people like Afro Dumbass and these other folks on YouTube acting like they just, acting like there's some kind of just mastermind scholars in the situation, you have to have experience in the game, and you have to be around, and you have to actually be trying to do projects and do things. That's how you're going to find out the mindset of people. Like I tell people, the reason why I know a lot about doing business in Africa is because we've been through it, and we're always going through it. And beyond that, you wouldn't understand the mindset of how people think, doing decisions, how you should move. And it's kind of like getting yourself familiar with a chessboard. And the better you get yourself familiar, the better you can make moves and ultimately, get to your goal. So that's what I'm trying to get our people to understand. So for those who are looking to come to the continent, strengthen numbers, and we provide consultation, we provide tours, provide investment, provide just even a general conversation. If you just want to say, reach out to me and just have a talk, we just get through it. We make ourselves available because we have to think about our future. What are we building for our children? Are we going to put our children in a situation where the Chinese and the Indians set up shop to where they own to where everything that's being built in what you call black countries or in the black world, literally owned by this foreigners, to where all you can do is just send your children to go to their sweatshops to go work. And so none of this stuff gets any easier or simpler. It's either you compete or get, no one is going to feel sorry for us. No one's going to feel sorry that white colonial devils stole us from our country, or Arab slave traders brought us all over the place. No one is going to care about those things, but it's because what they're going to say, which is completely not the same situation. But I hear all of them. Every single person that you're going to have a conversation with, whether it's a Lebanese, a Chinese, a Chinaman, someone from India, and then people go around and have those conversations with them, and they'll tell you their atrocities and they'll tell you the things that they've been through. But trust me, nothing has been what we've been through. So, but regardless, they're gonna say, well, we've been through our ups and downs. You may say India may say that. Someone from India may say, well, we just got independence the last several decades ago. And the same thing someone else may say. And they'll say, well, we seem to be doing well for ourselves. And that's the truth when you compare the Asian countries to the African countries, which some of them had similar time of independence. If you look at the numbers, which the situation is going to be different because they didn't have the situation that we had as a people and that legacy. And it was continuous. And for the most part, a lot of times their countries were occupied. I wouldn't say that they were colonized. But that's me telling their story. When they tell their story, it's something completely different. So, family, we as a people got to show that we're serious, and that's what this topic is about. And we're also reaching out to find out who are the serious brothers and sisters out there, so we can connect and do things with them. Between me and Kala, we have an incredible network. We're not just people that just talk and make YouTube videos. We're people that have made our way around. And the only reason I feel comfortable doing this journey to Liberia is because Kala gave me his blessings and gave me his connections, and me and him, I went through many things. And it's the same thing that I would do if somebody said they wanted to go to Ghana, do certain things in Ghana. And based on that, that's how I feel good about it, because he gave me the same advice that I would give other people. Just straight up real about everything and how we can just build from the ground up. But Kala, I've said a whole lot, my brother. Let me know. Go through some of these posts, because there's one specially for you at the end, brother. You're gonna love it.
Oh, I know. I'll take that. I'm his son. I'm his son's grandson. How about that?
All right, so let me see what our brothers and sisters got. There we go. This person said, Bomani, I have my passport. How do I book a trip to the motherland? Visit our website, africafortheafricans.org, and check out any of our schedules, the details, the itinerary, the overview, visa information. Then send me an email and give me a call, and let's talk, and I'll go through it with you, and we get you ready to go. Yes, big up my brother, Figure Bounty, positive vibes and skills. Right, and I'm just sharing some of these. All right, Black Power is one thing. Our oppressors can take it out from us. That's why they always describe it as juju, but juju is not evil, so we must hold it tight. All right, and any of these things you want to make a comment on, brother? Make a comment.
Yeah. Somebody made a comment about the African Union 6 region. Please don't bring that up around me. I call the African Union. The African Union, the OAU, the original OAU, was a Pan-African movement. The African Union, what you see right now, is not Pan-African. It's nothing but basically African governments that are corrupt, and they're basically an extension of the European Union. There's no Black African infrastructure on the continent, none whatsoever. Haiti is not considered an African country. How is that going to be a 6th region when they didn't let Haiti become a member? So the bottom line is this: people go around about, oh, we're the 6th region. Do you understand when they say 6th region, they mean anybody that was born on the continent, right? Or what got parents on the continent, everything. They mean white people, Indians, everybody are so-called Africans. They're not talking about, they don't define Africans as by race. They could define it by geography. You were born on the continent. That's the whole thing that took the thing about Africa used to be defined by Black race. We're the only group of people, right? We're the only group of people, right, where you can go to Africa, right? Be white, whatever, and call yourself an African. You can go to China. You know, there's Chinese people, there's white people that live in China, right? Or colony white people live in China. They've been there for like 200 years, since 1800s. They're still not Chinese. I think they came from Poland, right? They're white people, right? They speak Chinese and everything. They live in central China, but they're not Chinese. You got Chinese that live in Japan for 300 years, Chinatowns. People think, oh, how can I tell the difference? The Japanese do, because there's a culture. They come from China. Only the African, our birthright, our identity, can be taken and trivialized from us. You got Chinese people, Koreans that live in Japan, never become Japanese. You know, you got Chinese that never become, you know, but it seems like white people, they can just go to Africa and Africans always throwing, oh, you're African now and everything. So it loses meaning. So that's because Africans and black people are conquered people. And the Pan-African movement is here to establish order, saying who's African. Africans are black African people. You know, Bomani and I are Africans. You know, I don't care where we were born. We're Africans. We define Africa as black people, black African people, sub-Saharan African people. Our phenotype, skin, everything is black African. White people in Africa are not Africans. They're Europeans, they're invaders, they're guests or interlopers, whatever. They're not Africans. No person who's a real Pan-African will call a white person a fellow African. And that's the bottom line. The white people, I understand they're there. They even got their own white town called Orania in South Africa. White's only town in South Africa. That's an abomination.
Let me get the video together. Let me get the video together, because people may think that you're making that up.
No, Orania. We should play the video. Orania in South Africa.
Yeah, I won't play the video.
You know, you want to play a video? I'll play a video. Orania is a white-only town in South Africa. And not only that, in Namibia, do you know Luderitz is a white town, German town in Namibia? Do you know that the black African government in Namibia can't even go on its own land? The diamond strip on the coast, right, is restricted land. Do you know that whites own all the national game parks and everything in Namibia and everything? We can't call Namibia an Afrikstan because it's a Caucasian stan with black people in it. We can't call South Africa an Afrikstan because white people control the economy, the infrastructure. They run the railways. They run all the means of business and everything like that. Yeah, they have white people, black people managing now, and black people making strides. But all black people are doing is managing white people's shit. You know, okay, we're gonna go like this. Black people, the black South African is completely disconnected from the rest of Africa. You got a powerful state to its east, Mozambique. You got states to the north, surrounded by all these black African countries. But all these countries, the black communities are not there. There's no railways or airports going from Soweto to Gaborone or Soweto to Lusaka, Zambia. You know, that's what we mean by black African infrastructure. That means the supply chains, networks, and everything are black people, black African people coming together and building. You know, that's what we're talking about. So when people come up here and everything like that, and now we got Negro-European trolls in the chat talking smack and everything about me. One thing you know about me, Kala's real. You know, I'm as real as it gets. You know, this is something I dedicated my life to. I don't make money off this, whatever like that. I do this because it's in my soul. When something's deep down in your soul, you know it's for real. I'm prepared to die for this. I'm prepared to kill for this. You know, that's how real I am with this. I believe that black people in America a nation of our own. If these white people could have these white devils to have their own land in South Africa and everything, you tell me we can't build our own community of like-minded people, with people of similar background on our African continent, which we're not going to take the money that we generate and send it to America. We're going to put it back in Africa. And so the bottom line is this: you want to roll with us? This is what we're talking about. One thing what Bomani was saying, right, is I will never accept no. Like, I understand when you're in America, you're gonna get a lot of no's and everything because of racism and white supremacy. I saw this one guy that was on TikTok. He said, "Man, he does. I don't even understand. Bomani might understand it. He does technology and stuff like that." And he says like this. He goes, "White guy told him, I'm never gonna give you that deal, that contract." He said, "I got everything in place and everything." He said he ended up getting another one, better one, but he said, "Look, because I'm black." This guy looked like he fit in with Americans. Light-skinned guy, got green eyes and everything. I figured he'd be like one of those blacks they like you and everything. He said no. You know, the white guy said no. White guy said no. That's too much power for you. You know, so the bottom line is this: in America, the top tiers of American society. Why do you think all these app companies and everything, all this technology, and everything is controlled by whites? Fuck that guy. What's his name? Jeff Dorsey of Twitter. You know, and all these hanging with Jay-Z. He's a white man, just like Mark Zuckerberg is. All these people get billions of dollars. We're not dominating black people and everything. You know, and it's time for a change. You know, it's time for a change. Go ahead with that video, bro, Money.
Yes, brother. Also, you know, you had a special comment. Somebody made a nice comment for you. So I just want you to address this one.
Which one?
Right on your screen.
Kala is here today. Mr. America Civil African American or Supreme. That's another stupid idiot. You know, I never said that. You know.
Where do you get these clowns from, man? Everybody that be coming at you.
Yeah, it's the bottom line. Put the link in the chat room. Why don't you come on here and cam up and say it to my face? You know, they won't do it. They're cowards. You know, you can come on here and say it to my face. You know, cam up, and everything like that. First of all, there's never been such a people called American Liberians. That's a lie. I never said that. You know, the so-called American Liberians came from the diaspora, came from the Caribbean, America, Canada, and everything, and they built a republic. They created a modern republic. Now, if we're trying to be civilized, modernized, and everything, yes, they did bring that modern civilization to Africa, the only republic. That's why it was never colonized. That's just the fact, the truth. These people, Liberia was more advanced than any other territory on the continent. Maryland County and Liberia outstripped Cape Town in level of civilization. You know, you take Maryland and Liberia, right? It's everything. It's postal system, it's streets, everything. And it rivaled Cape Town and Durban at the time. So the bottom line, these people were hardworking, they were diligent, and they believed in education and everything. And they believed in the rule of law. So therefore, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about building Africa to the highest level. And the bottom line is this: when you see Africa right now, you see all the people that's rioting in Sierra Leone right now, you telling me you could do it better? No, our ancestors went to Liberia and they built something remarkable. We played the video last week, how Liberia, from 1945, well, that's the only time it really had freedom, to 1980, its economy was the fastest growing in the world. Liberia didn't have any white people in there. It was all black people. Black people showed the world that black people could build their own country. That's why Liberia was there, the Lone Star. They said while the rest of the world were basically, blessed black Africa was like, giving up. You know, if it wasn't for Liberia was one to spark the revolution in all throughout Africa. If they can do it, we can do it. The reason why we got Nigeria and all these countries today is because of Liberia. You know, so if you want to basically go right ahead. What we're not going to do is feel guilty because our ancestors were successful. We stand behind Liberia, right? 100%. Our ancestors did what they had to do to build a country and build a republic, and it celebrated 175 years of the republic, 200 years since they first touched the soil. So we celebrate that. We own that. You know, we put that in our win column. Yes, that's one of our wins. So we don't care what anybody thinks about it. Everybody else, no other group of people apologizes for their success. You know, we let everybody come in, take out, say, oh, you shouldn't be like that. Remember, look, bottom line, in life, there's going to be winners and losers. Our ancestors in Liberia just happen to be on the winning side of history. And we basically, hey, you go ahead with the video, brother.
Welcome to Orania, a remote farming town in South Africa's northern Cape. It prints its own money, runs its own banks, has its own holidays, and manages its own affairs. Sounds like the perfect township to relocate, right? Well, hold your horses. To enter Orania, you have to qualify on certain parameters. Foremost is the color of your skin. It has to be white, because Orania is a whites-only town. The uniqueness is too obvious to ignore.
Hey, Bomani, I think you got to
Wherever you go in this township, you will only find Afrikan.
Repeat that, brother.
I think you have to take off your playback, your mic. You got to mute your mic. I think while it's playing. Try that.
Now, if I mute it, it's going to mute the audio.
Okay. Or something like
So-
that. We're getting double. Let's go. I guess we're gonna play it. You know,
All right, you hearing double?
it's out here. It's like an echo.
All right, let me see if I can do something here. Wow, all right. Let me try again. Let me just run this back a little bit, and we'll just talk about it anyway. And
Okay,
hopefully,
I want to see this. Play it.
Township,
People
you will only find Afrikaners.
now it's better now.
White only find Afrikaners. White people with Dutch ancestry. They do all the work, from playing the piano at the church to reading out the Bible to believers, to running the kitchen at a restaurant. To even gardening at orchards. All jobs, big or small, are reserved for white people. But the residents of this town insist that they're not racist.
We are from Africa, that's why we call ourselves Afrikaners. We want to remain here. We also want to retain our identity. Now, to retain one's identity is not a racist impulse. We wanted to retain our identity against the English or the British imperialism also. They're even whiter than we are, much whiter.
Orania is often dubbed as the last outpost of apartheid, a system of institutionalized racial segregation. South Africa abolished apartheid in the 1990s, but the legacy lives on in Orania. In fact, the township was founded by the son-in-law of Hendrik Verwoerd, South Africa's former prime minister, who's considered to be the architect of apartheid. Verwoerd's bust lies at the museum in this township, serving as a reminder of his beliefs. As for Nelson Mandela, the man credited with ending apartheid, the people of Orania don't really hold him in high regard.
I don't think that I can see him as a hero, because he's part of a whole package. Mandela is part of a whole package. And as Mandela, all the other leaders within the ANC make a contribution to create some policy that is, from our viewpoint, not necessarily for the best of this country.
Mandela is not a hero, they say, and they're not racist, they insist. So what is this town all about? An attempt to protect their culture. This township is legal as per South Africa's constitution. An article defends its right to self-determination. But Orania's ambitions could soon spell trouble, because the people here say their next goal is the creation of an Afrikaner republic, a white-only autonomous region within South Africa. Bureau Report, We On, World is One.
We on.
Yeah, I seen that one years ago. So the whole thing about that is this, right? You know, the whites in South Africa, Southern Africa, right? And what gets me is this: when I seen this one, there's another part of Orania. It's not Orania, but there's another part that was in like the Transvaal, where the whites had a similar community, right? And you had the black lady talking about, oh, why can't we just live together? And why can't we just be together and everything? And the whites are like, yo, look, you know, we have our own way of life. We have our own thing. We go, why can't you? We just want to be among ourselves, you know, white people, you know, like these people, black people hate us and everything, you know, and we just want to be among ourselves. The black people are like, no, we should learn to love each. This is another thing. Why is that the burden of loving everybody always on the black race? You know, you have Martin Luther King. I fought to love somebody. Then we end up with nothing. You know, what if black people started being the same way and start building shit and say it's black only and shit like this? But the blacks in South Africa, they're not thinking that level, you know? They got black South Africans competing with Indians and everybody else and everything. Yet they turn their anger towards the black immigrants. You know, you got whites doing their own white town. You got Chinese setting up shop and everything. The Chinese almost built their own city in South Africa. They got stopped because of media outcry. But the black South Africans, right? They just sit back and just let these people rule over them and take all the wealth from them and everything like that. And it's just utterly ridiculous, what you see in South Africa. Now, my whole thing is this: I would like for Orania to be somewhere in Australia. If they could go to Australia, that'd be great with that idea. But the thing is, though, the only thing I like about it is they're not using black labor. They're doing all the work themselves and they're being thing. I'm like, hey, but the idea that you should have an Afrikaner republic on the African continent and there's no Afrikstan for the descendants of slavery, there's something really unjust about that. Descendants of slaves in every America, the diaspora, don't have a republic, a state that they can have refuge at, that caters to them, caters to them. But the white Afrikaners can talk about a republic and nobody basically bats an eye. So it's just utterly ridiculous. And people say, well, what about the current African? The current African countries have to deal with their own people. Ghana has to feed its people. Sierra Leone is in an upheaval right now, unrest all over the place. Why? Because it's people talking about fuel prices and everything. People have to feed themselves and everything. People have to feed their own countries. The idea of an Afrikstan is building Africa to the point where black people from America and the West could go and say, look, I could settle down here. I could bring my assets here. I could build something here, because I got a way of life and everything. And the only place that's it, because Africa can't provide this for us. We're going to have to basically do that ourselves. All we need is just basic understanding of why we are building these communities, why we build the Black Star Pan-African community, why to take care of our people that's moving to the continent. Like we have our own everything, our own social clubs, our own hospitals, our own businesses, our own banks and everything. We could live on a continent without any worry. We're not being a burden. We're being a net blessing to the African continent. Building our own schools and everything like that, which we could let the local people share in what we build. That's different than Orania, where they basically like whites only and everything like that. We're not trying to do the same thing. We're trying to build something. We have to build something first, and then the local people will benefit from our presence. But we got to build something. Building something, building nothing, just having idle land sit there, and we're sitting in America with all this ingenuity and skill and talent and everything, and creating a win-win situation. Let me give you an example. When we start building these communities in Africa and eventually an Afrikstan state, where do you think most of our agriculture and stuff will come from? It will come from Africa. Wouldn't that be a benefit to both parties? If Ghana wants to sell us stuff and Nigeria wants to sell us oil and sell us fuel and everything like that, wouldn't that be business, black to black business? Right now, we have no black to black businesses across the world. Black America has $1.4 trillion spending power a year. How much of that does Africa supply us? How much 90% of what Nigeria exports, not even exports, 90% of all its foreign earnings is oil. Nigeria doesn't even export its own oil. Foreign corporations export the oil. They just give Nigeria a portion. Ghana doesn't even export its own cocoa. It basically foreign companies come and buy it and distribute it into their own manufacturing thing. Africa doesn't export anything. There's a difference between that. That's another thing. We got to play on words. Now, what's happening now in Africa is with the African Growth and Opportunities, that's AGOA, right? Because, that's a great for Africa. But I said there's not the infrastructure set up. For example, right? Chinese and Indian firms are locating their clothing manufacturers to Southern Africa, right? Using cheap African labor to sell in the United States under AGOA. And to point about the so-called sixth region phony shit of the African Union, right? That's okay because it's African made. Is it really African made? If it's owned by Chinese and distributed by Chinese and it's coming under the radar, that's considered African export. When we say African export, we're talking about Black African infrastructure, Black African industry, Black African innovation. That's what we're talking about. Right now, people are setting up businesses all over the African continent, right? And they're selling stuff African made, right? There was a thing a couple of years ago that I saw this. See, I saw this coming back in 2009. I forgot what it was called, right? It was in South Africa where these white guys, they're like freaking cocky assholes, right? And I guess they manufactured beer or whatever like that. And they were basically celebrating. They were talking about Africa. It was all these white guys in South Africa, right? They were drunk and they were like this. I said, something is not quite right about this. They were like Africa rising and all stuff like this. It was all white guys who just got rich, manufacturing in Africa. So in other words, basically white-made products are being sold, right, at low tariffs and everything like that, special enterprise zones as African. But the thing is, though, they're not being made by black Africans. Now, if you think there's nothing wrong with that, then you are a race trader. If you think it's okay for white people, for example, MTN, it's a white-owned company in South Africa, right? They're all over. They benefit. White companies in South Africa are now like ShopRite or in West Africa. I know you've seen them in Ghana and everything. ShopRite's a white-owned company in West and thing. But because it's from Africa, South Africa, no one says it. Oh, it's an African company. ShopRite is white-owned. And we have to basically say, look, just because something is in Africa don't mean it's African. This is why they're fighting so hard to redefine what is an African. But make no mistake, we're not free. We're not a free people. A free people makes a stand. It says, this is who we are. This is where we stand. This is what's ours. Other people tell us what we are. If an Indian company, whatever like that, you got Indians that are now building gas stations and everything throughout Southern Africa. And they do, I gave you credit. I looked up the company, I forgot the name of it. They build convenience stores and gas stations and have a prototype. And they built several in Rwanda. They give a lot of stuff back. They got them in Zambia and everything like that, They basically refine oil and everything. They sell gas and everything. And they have a quick mark. It's like I forgot the name of it, right? But they're all over Southern Africa and everything like that, right? And they're saying we're part of the community. They had outreach. They had little African children, built schools and everything like that. Is that the sort of Africa we want for the future, where foreigners basically are building stuff for us? Or do we want this Pan-African revolution? A Pan-African revolution is black Africans building industries, black Africans going to other African countries, lifting the people out of poverty and everything. They say, well, Kala, man, it is what it is. Okay, if you say, Kala, shut up and everything, then when all your kids and your best minds got to go to the West to get a job, because all the Indians and all these people that are building all this stuff that you think, you're letting the white man and Indians build your infrastructure for you, and they own the construction companies and everything. They own all they lay the pipelines and all the stuff like this, Yeah, funny. The mastery media call it by himself. He doesn't have the money to do what those whites are doing. But the BL has the wealth, time, and power to do so. Kala has hundreds by hand. Yeah. Bottom line is, like I said, all we need basically is the one day, and we keep preaching this message, Master said, it's always you don't have the money, power. Well, how can you say that? There was recently an African American group that just invested $300 million in Uganda. There's African American investment groups all over the continent. What are you talking about? Our brother Timothy Hightower operates in all 7 continents with his oil transport logistics company. We have the people. You just don't know about them, We have Africa Venture Partners, multi-billion-dollar conglomerate in South Africa, on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. We have Eugene Jackson, all these people, Of course, they don't want us to have a nation of our own, because they know if that nation is a threat to them. The whole idea is they think white people have all this stuff. We have way more. If you name all the inventions Black America created, right? We're gonna do a show about that, Black inventors. Name me anything South African whites ever invented. Nothing. We got so many patents, African American patents, in America's U.S. Patent Office. Name me something that the white South Africans did. Nothing. They're not on our level. They know it. So this idea that the whites can do all this, whites can't do shit. We can do anything. Black Americans are one of the most powerful people on the friggin' planet. The only thing is that we're held here in America, right? And we're not able to use our potential. Well, yeah, one day we're going to unleash the light of 1,000 suns on the African continent, and we're going to free Africa, from this. Not bragging about that. I'm just saying we are, We are not blacks. We're African. No, we are black Africans. Say that. We're black Africans. We're not all kings and queens. I don't believe with all that kings and queens nonsense. I'm not no king. I don't believe in that king and queen stuff. What we got to do is be diligent, be hardworking, and build something for our people and be humble. Let's start being real people again. So I'm a king and a queen. No, I'm not a king and queen. My ancestors originally came from the Congo. More than likely, they were basically small farmers and whatever before the transatlantic slave trade. I don't need to say I'm a king and queen. I'm a man. And like Garvey said, I deserve a man's chance in this world. I'm not a king. I'm not a ruler. I'm not superior. I'm just a man who says this is what we need and to build in the future. Some of us are going to become billionaires. You want to become a billionaire? Fine. Some of us just want to be engineers, I'm happy for whatever you want to do. My goal is not to become a billionaire and stuff like that. Have no interest in that. My goal is to build a nation state of our own on the African continent by which we could bring the best and brightest minds on the African world together in one place. That means everybody that's basically can contribute is welcome to this new territory and everything. And we're going to begin the process of severing our ties with Europe. Right now you got Togo trying to be a member of the Commonwealth. We're going ass backwards. Which we call Prince Harry, whatever that clown name is, went to Angola and tried to get Angola to join the Commonwealth. Angolan president, get the fuck out of here. Angola fought for Angola. See, the reason why I love Liberia and Angola is because Liberia was never colonized, and Angola fought the Portuguese, fought them, and kicked them the fuck out of Angola. Excuse my language, folks. And so, therefore, Angola is free soil. Same thing with Mozambique. So I look at countries like that. I thank God for Portuguese Africa because they were so weak and whatnot, we was able to do it. Where in French Africa and British Africa, the French and the British still got their foothold on the continent. Portuguese Africa is free. So therefore, so I'm like this. So we don't want to be part of the Commonwealth. We don't want to be part of the UN. We don't want to be part of the World Bank. This is basically a geopolitical upheaval. We don't want to be part of any of these institutions, the Bretton Woods institutions that were created in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire in 1947 to govern the world. We don't want to be part of the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, and all that. We don't need all that. What we want is an Afrikstan, a global Black African infrastructure. If we build that, we'll be free. But guess what? When we build that, Europe is finished. Europe only exists because of Africa's misery. Europe not only takes its natural resources, Europe is taking Africa's human resources. Some of the best things, the biggest thing in Africa is getting a visa or student visa and going to Europe. What do you think they're doing with that? They're basically adding to their human pool. They're building Europe. Europe is getting older. They're not producing a population. So why not get the best of our people and give them an apartment and let them live in Europe and everything, and make them Black Europeans. Negropeans. That's what we're talking about. Building a Black African infrastructure is basically a reversal to the geopolitical order right now. The geopolitical order right now is Africa, basically the world has decided that Africa is never going to become industrialized, that Africa is never going to develop and everything, and that the official U.S. policy since Henry Kissinger's days is depopulation. That's Africa. If you basically got to keep your populations down, birth control, abortion, outright murder, if necessary. They thought the COVID-19, Bill Gates' wife said, oh, Africa's going to suffer the COVID. Africa did well on the COVID-19. Europe, tens of thousands died. Africa, very few deaths. They're like, what the hell happened? It's like, go back to the drawing board. We're stronger than you think we are. So therefore, those very few deaths, Africa is going to be plagued with COVID, Ebola, like that. All the stuff they throw at it. They thought AIDS was going to wipe us out. By now, they said, back then, remember, said, HIV, AIDS, and everything. Whatever happened to that? Everything they throw at us and whatnot, we're the children of God. They throw at us and everything, and they friggin' it backfires on them and everything. But the Africans still smiling He's still trusting in these people. He doesn't have no idea what these people are about. These people want Africa, but they don't want you. Like Taylor Swift did a video, right? She was in Africa and everything like that, white bitch and whatnot. But she had no black people in her video. She's in Africa with no black people in the video. This is what they want. They want to enjoy the wildlife, you know, and you just be glorified tour guides while they go to rump in Africa and everything like that. Look like white saviors and everything. You understand something. The mentality, the mind of the African American is different than a lot of people, you know? They're nothing to us. We grew up with them. They're nothing to us. You are convinced that these people are superior to you. You're convinced that a white man he's like this. White people fuck up all the time. These people, you got white people that are brilliant, like 5% of them, right, are brilliant, right? I give them that, right? Really exceptional. The mass of white people are freaking idiots. You know, the black people that are brilliant, right, basically are stifled in America. People always think people with high IQs must be rich. No, it's not necessarily true. A lot of times people with high IQs are withdrawn. They're insular. They're withdrawn. They're basically like this. They stay to themselves. They don't say nothing. They're recluse. We have a lot of black people that's why when they heard the message of the BAIO, I attracted a lot of people that came out of woodwork say, yes, let's do this. We can do this. From all over America, BAO attracted engineers, scientists, everything. Say, yes, let's build this nation. We're capable of doing it. Because when you get intelligent people together and they go over everything and they look at history and they know enough about history and everything, say, yes, that's doable. We can do this. Not only that, we got black people from America and Rwanda. We got all over the continent, all over the world. Black African Americans are all over the world right now, you know? So this idea that, African Americans don't believe that hype. You know, the state of Virginia, without black people, the state of Virginia would collapse. Maryland, the state of Maryland, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. Black people are dominating these states. So what I'm saying is this, though. We're not saying everybody got to go. But can you imagine if African countries start plugging in with sister city projects and everything? We got tremendous resources in Black America. We're connected. We sit on pension fund boards, billions of dollars that can develop Africa overnight. We sit on these boards. But like Bomani was saying, people want to know if they do get involved with Africa, it's not going to because the media is not going to talk about this. Everything in Black America, nothing in Black American political discourse talks about Africa as part of Africa, nothing. And there's a reason why they do that, right? Because they want to keep us looking at America as the only place. They want to keep us in America. But when we start building in Africa and everything, it's just an anomaly. Oh, yeah, there's some people doing that. But it's never like the answer to the black people, the black conundrum in America. We have black people that sit in cities like Philadelphia. They got billions of dollars in employee pension funds. We sit on boards and everything. Can you imagine the fire of African Pan-Africanism grips Black America? This is the whole thing I'm saying. Our movement only requires Black America and Black people in Africa. Everything else you're talking about is the World Bank and all these other people that's not going to give you anything. China and everything. Black America sits on billions of dollars that go to other countries, right, for the treasury and everything like that. We're here with the U.S. dollar, but we don't do that. You know, I said to myself, black people running Chicago right now. Chicago has a Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Chicago has the Midwest Employees Pension Fund. Do you know the Midwest Employees Pension Funds were built Las Vegas?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? All the friggin' money, the pension funds, loans built Las Vegas. It built cities like Atlantic City and stuff like this. We know all this stuff. Bob Johnson did this. You know, he got loans from pension funds to build hotels all throughout the Caribbean. So Black America is very powerful. So I'm saying like this, I'm stopping this ADOS FBA stuff and all this nonsense and everything because we need all hands on deck to this global Pan-African revolution. Well, God put us here in America for a reason, kept us here in America for a reason.
Excellent. Excellent, Kala. I'm just putting this up, once you're ready to go to the next video.
Yeah.
A beautiful analysis. Well, yes, family. So that is our topic.
Well, I'm going to read some of these comments, right? Read some of these comments, answer some of these questions in the chat. Someone wrote, Flame said, can you explain how Liberia was able to avoid European colonization? One thing you have to understand about Liberia is these people, before they even went to Liberia, knew who the enemies were. They knew that Liberia was created before the 1884 thing, but they knew that was coming. And what people don't understand, I'm going to drop a jewel tonight on this show that people don't even realize, right? The 1884 carving of Liberia was not done for European powers, right? It was done because they feared the black people from the West returning. That's why it was done. The manifest destiny of the black man in the West. Black people were starting to return to the continent, places like the Congo, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and stuff like this. So to basically say, look, if they come over there and modernize Africa and start building republics like Liberia, they want to prevent Liberians from all over the continent declaring independence. So they basically portioned the continent among themselves, and then 20, 30 years they began occupying it. So it was given to each other by treaty, and then the Europeans didn't arrive there to the early 20th century. And these great expeditions and stuff like that to the Congo and stuff like this. They weren't there for hundreds of years like people think they were. They just said, this is land, okay, we have missionaries over there. And another thing, we let the missionaries come to Africa, right? And the missionaries would send information about different people and everything. And they would have explorers and everything like that. They would come in there, and the Africans welcome these explorers in and everything like that. Next thing you know, hey, you're part of. They renamed Lake Victoria. What's Victoria? What's the falls in Zimbabwe? Victoria Falls, and also like that. They start claiming territory, rename it. I think Kruger Park and all stuff like this. This is what's going on. Europeans were there in the continent as friends and everything. And next thing you know, they're basically saying this is now part of it. Then you have Cecil Rhodes and all these other people start saying, like this. These were all flunkies. Cecil Rhodes was a bum. King Leopold was a bum. So Africa is a place where people were flunkies. And also not only that, the people that's coming to the continent, the white people, Asian and everything, they're not the best of people that come from Europe. They're your white trash, How can you live on a continent, right, knowing you got white privilege? You got privilege in Europe, yet you're going to come to Africa and live and then actually every time we look around, there's some white person molesting African children all over the continent. And Africans think that's all right. That's normal. No, it's not normal. That's one thing you won't see in Liberia. You will not see no white people with no African children. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. But you see it in other countries like Ivory Coast, the Gambia, Senegal, and all these other places like that where Europeans would then go with their sex tourism. You won't see it in Africa, in Liberia. You won't see it in Angola. Those are free countries. That's why. So the Europeans carved up Africa, right? And Liberia knew this was coming. So they basically understood a thing that, hey, look, we have our independence and everything. Europeans didn't have people inside of Liberia erecting statues and all stuff like this. The people in Liberia, right? The native people in Liberia, before this happened in 1884, Liberians got the indigenous people on code. Look, these people are coming for you. You're going to make a decision. King Massaquoi of the Galenas, right? He lost half his territory to the British. He should have made up his mind sooner, right? He could have kept the thing. But he became a citizen of the Republic of Liberia. And he ran for office. He said, I want to become a Liberian. He said, look, on the other side of the French side, the French were guillotining African chiefs. They're like, man, the French are brutal. Well, hey, look, in this country, there's black men running the country. They treat us with dignity, and they look like us. That's how Liberia kept its independence. Liberia's independence could be credited by the people of Lofa County and the people of Nimba County. That's why when we go to Liberia, we're going to lay there was special ceremony to the Mono tribe, strong Mono warrior. My boy Naya, my brother Naya, is a Mono king, man. I call him a king. This guy, Naya, he lives in Rhode Island. I was at his house last summer. This guy, you could see the greatness in these people. And these guys love Black America. They love African Americans. You know, they love. He said, man, you know, this is your land, this is your country. You know, he says, I said, why you guys sound different than some of the other Liberians? He said, look, we were up in the Nimba Mountains and whatnot. We saw what the French were doing. We wanted to be part of Liberia. They made a stand and raised the Liberian flag and say, this is what we're part of. And that's what ended the French encroachment. So when people say how Liberia keep its republic, you look at the tribes in Liberia, the tribes that said, look, I'm a black man, I'm part of this black republic. It wasn't if it had it not been for them, Liberia would have been wiped off the map. So what I'm trying to tell our people, they understood our story. They understood our pain. They understood why we came to that country. And they said, these are our brothers and sisters. They're not our enemies. We have our differences and whatnot, but we're going to build a republic. We're going to build a nation together. And that's what I'm asking my African brothers. We're not your enemies. We're your brothers and sisters. So all this nonsense about, people like this trying to come, that's not us. The people are singing the Negro praise of, Kala wants to colonize and whatnot. You can't colonize what's already yours. Colonization means you're basically taking the territory and you're putting it under a foreign entity or whatever. We don't have the means to do that, nor the desire to do it. We're not capable of doing that. So when people throw this stuff around, colonization, calling me colonizer, all this kind of nonsense, you keep on. But the people that want to do real business, that want to see Africa be delivered, they're going to join the Black African Infrastructure Organization Social Network and Bomani's Africa for Africans. We're joining forces, and we're going to build this thing. We're building this thing. For now to here to eternity. This is the revolution. This is the time. We can't keep going the way we are. The Negropean and the neo-colonialists and all these other freaking stupid people, they lost. They're lost. Now it's time for something new. Now it's time to get serious about this Pan-African movement, a real Pan-African movement. So.
Yes, Kala, well said, man. You're like a revolutionary poet. I appreciate you breaking all the things down. So family, think about what our brothers are talking about, and and think about Liberia, and think about the 200 years of what our ancestors built.
200 years, and like I said, 2023 begins the New Testament.
Yes.
The New Testament,
So we're going to be building a whole lot of energy, tourism, business investment. It's a whole game plan that we're rolling out. And then we're going to connect other countries that we do business in Africa with, and just build a strong diaspora energy in different countries so we can just connect stronger and compete.
And the bottom line is, when we start building industries, factories, and stuff like that, get everybody on the same page. Everybody, when we go to Africa and everything like that, we have to get people together. There's a lot of people that do stuff on their own. I get that. I'm just doing my own thing. But we have to network with each other. Those of us from the diaspora, oh, no, not Mike. Not Mike. Yo, put the link in the chat room. Demond, put the link in the chat room. Let me beat this dude down, Mike and whatnot. This is a guy. Mike is like this. This is how Mike is. He's telling me how he was going to try to train me how to deal with the white man. Hey, Mr. White Man, let me smell your poo-poo, Mr. White Man. Let me scratch your ass, scratchy. You got to scratch the white man's booty and whatnot and smell the poo-poo, you got a bootlick and whatnot, and it's also dumb as D-U-M-B, Mike, Mr. Like this, D-U-M-B, not D-U-M, you moron. Put the link. You put the link in the chat room, brother?
Yes, sir. It is right there, brother.
Yeah, Mike, call in so I can smack you down, Call in my ear. Hey, Kala, you got to know how he's telling me, man. If a white man punches you, you got to sit back and take it, whatnot, I told him, I said, I got a business. I never had to kiss nobody's ass, oh, no.
Kala, you always sound dumb, but you don't know that, man. Stop thinking
Mike,
you have monopoly of wisdom.
You told me that the key to being in America is a black person, you shouldn't fight back and stuff like that. That's what you said.
No.
What'd you say?
You have to know what fighting is all about. You have to understand warfare. What you guys are calling fighting is stupidity. When you're going around protesting and calling white man devils and all that shit, you're not fighting. You have stupidity. Warfare is not only warfare. You have to understand. There are different types of warfare. You understand? if you want to, what I was explaining that day was, listen, if you want to fight white people in America, you have to go with the same way everyone else is doing it. The Asians in America are doing it, the way the Hispanics are doing it. Economic warfare. You rally yourself. You build yourself. You find independent. You find way where you're self independent, right? Economically, right? And then, but you guys do this. Oh, we're fighting, we're marching and protesting, and we're insulting them. I said, listen, that's not the kind of warfare. That's what I was explaining that day. But wait, let me land. And you say I'm talking about scratching the ass and kissing ass. And I'll give an example how the Nigerians in America did it. When we first got here, when we first came here, right? We're called monkeys and all kinds of names because we came here poor. Most of us came here in the 80s and 90s. We're driving cabs and they have no economic power. But somehow we kept cool. We didn't start insulting anybody or we just kept cool. We play diplomacy game, diplomatic games, right? We understand the heart of diplomacy, right? We use diplomatic means to kind of allow people not to get in our way of achieving our success and goals, right? But today we say in communities like this, predominantly where it's a large group of Nigerians, we'll find a way to rally and dominate a lot of these sectors. And I give an example of Texas, in Houston, Texas. In the 90s, the whites had the power to stop us from achieving whatever we want. But today, no one can stop us because I, as a Nigerian, if I get out of college, I don't need a white man. I don't need a white man to get a job. There's a Nigerian in the oil sector that can hook me up. There's a Nigerian in the medical field that can hook me up. That's what I was explaining to you. But you saw it as me telling you you got to kiss ass. No, that wasn't the point.
Mike, you said you're gonna land, right? First of all, Houston, Texas, is a shithole city. It's a real shithole.
No, the whole Texas and not only Texas. Even if you go to most cities.
Houston is a special shithole city. I wouldn't even claim that shit. It's a shit. Nothing there. Fucking rundown cities. Shit. And they had one flood and the place was freaking massacred by flood. Don't even have adequate drainage shit. So please don't talk to me about Houston. And second of all, what I was saying.
Well, a lot of Nigerians are building their successes.
So this in the state of Virginia.
Well, nobody can. Listen, the point I'm making is not whether it's cities, whatever it is. But what the point I'm making is nobody today can stop a Nigerian from doing what he wants to do.
I mean, nobody. No, look. Bottom line is this: if you are in America, right? There's black people, white people. Everybody said there's white people that are freaking failing. There's white people that are successful. Like everybody else, But what I'm trying to say is this: first of all, you never see me out here protesting and everything like that. I like this. However, even though I don't agree with the Black Lives Matter protest or stuff like that, I think it's a waste of time. I agree with you on that, right? Part of American culture, right? The society is a society of protest. This protected by the Constitution.
Only people that protest are black people, man. I don't see Chinese people running on the street protesting, talking about Chinese life matters. Hispanics on the street, Hispanic life matters.
Mike, you gonna set me on that? First of all, the Chinese are out there protesting against anti-Asian.
They didn't protest, man. They got in the room with Joe Biden and made the deal.
Hold on. The people are going to the Supreme Court, right, or protesting of abortion rights, right? You have a problem with that?
But this is not a race-based group. It's not ethnic-based group.
Mike, you said you had a problem with protesting. Do you have a problem with
No, I'm not saying necessarily I have a problem with protesting. What I'm saying is, no, I didn't say that. No, I didn't say I have a problem with protesting. What I'm saying is, when you want power, you don't get into protest. That's the point I'm making. If you want power, it's not like going around protesting and crying victims.
Mike, yeah, that's why I said you can never win a debate.
But that wasn't the reason why I came in tonight anyway. So you're taking me to a whole point. I came in about your African discussion. That's why I came in,
Mike. See, you fell right into my trap, man. I set this stuff for you. You fell right into my trap.
Yeah, there's no trap. You said it, man. Stop bumping yourself. I see
black people always protesting, right? Right now.
No, I didn't say black. No. I was responding to the accusation you made about the conversation you and I had a while back on, I believe it was Kazorian channel.
Right. Most of the people who burned down the cities were Antifa, white kids, right? You have the Proud.
That's not the point I'm making here, dude. The point is not about protesting. The point is about your strategy in America. That's the point. That was the point, and it has nothing to do with why I came in tonight. Why are you making it all about that anyway?
No. I'm saying because
I just gave a response to your accusation, and let's move on. Why are we sticking to it?
We have to clear that up. Let's just clear it up, right? Then we can move on, right? We clear up, right? I don't believe this. Black people's protest, right? Let's say like this, right? it led to the Civil Rights Act, which actually gave Africans the legal right.
No.
Right.
It wasn't a protest.
So
it wasn't your protest. Do you know what it was? Do you know why? Do you know why U.S. government had to come down and give black people civil rights? Do you know why? Do you want me to tell you?
So in other words, basically, you say.
Do you want me to tell you?
You're saying the March on Washington and all that stuff like that.
That was all bullshit. They didn't have any effect. Let me tell you what happened.
So Mike, you're gonna tell me my own history.
You don't know your history. That's why you think you know shit, but you don't know nothing. The same thing you talk about African history, but you don't know what you're talking about.
So Mike, you're telling me that the March on Washington and John F. Kennedy, Lyndon Baines Johnson saying, "I want to be on the right side of history." So the Selma March and all that did absolutely nothing.
It was bullshit. Let me tell you what really happened.
Oh, the Selma March.
Do you want to hear what really happened?
Selma March is bullshit, man. I've heard
let me tell you what really happened. During that time, the 60s, there was a Cold War going on. The Soviet Union and the United States.
I said this already.
But I'm trying to tell you why America. Listen. But you want me to tell you, or you want to tell me what?
I already know where you're going with this. I already know.
No, let me. Now I'm trying to tell you. Well, you said the reason they gave civil rights because you guys were marching. I'm trying to tell you it's not.
No, I'm saying the back.
But let me tell you why it's not. Do you want me to tell you? In the 60s, was the same era when the 60s was the same era where U.S. government was pandering to African governments and all black people because they had a Cold War going on between them and the Soviets. And the Soviets, and they had to change their attitude towards black people. It was because of the Cold War that the United States government had to change attitude towards black people. It wasn't because we were marching and protesting. White man is not going to give you anything because we were marching and protesting.
Mike, did you hear the conversation Mr. Nixon had with Ronald Reagan about Africans?
Say it again.
Did you hear the conversation, the secret recording Richard Nixon had with Ronald Reagan about Africans in the UN?
Yeah. Well, he was talking shit. Exactly. So I'm trying to tell you that those things that were giving you.
Oh, what did he call you?
He was calling us monkeys, all kind of stupid names. So I'm trying to tell you.
How can people call you monkeys care about what you think when they don't give a shit about what you think?
What's your point? What is your point?
We're gonna make these Africans mad. So what you're doing? You're trying to say,
and that's what I'm trying to tell you. The white man is not giving you anything. He doesn't like you. He's not going to give you anything because you're marching and protesting.
Mike, have you been listening to the show? Have I ever asked a white man for anything? We're gonna take what we want.
No. I'm not saying. Look, Kala, you're missing the point. I didn't say you particularly asking white man for anything. That's not what I'm telling you. I came on. You started accusing me of telling you that you started bringing a conversation you and I had from the previous show. Last time you and I spoke on Kazorian channel, right? And the argument was that I'm telling you that protesting and all that shit is not the way. Like asking white man for something is not the way. You have to gain power to get whatever you want. You don't ask anybody for anything. And today you're telling me that protesting work. No. You just trying to convince me that protesting work because in the 60s you guys protested. And I'm telling you that in the 60s it wasn't because of the protest. It was because of the Cold War that was going on.
What I'm saying like this, right? Black people, if you understand something, right? We had the Civil Rights Movement and the Black Power Movement, right?
But let's not get into this, man. Let's focus on the reason why I came here, dude. Like there's the topic you're talking tonight, talking about the first Black Republic. Dude, we had nations in Africa. We always had nations.
No, you didn't.
We had ethnic nations.
No, you didn't.
We always had ethnic nations.
You had kingdoms and basically
yes, and they are nations.
You have 20 different Igbo ethnic groups. You didn't have a language.
What do you mean? I'm not Igbo, so don't ask me about Igbo. Speak about my ethnic group.
Mike, let me ask you a question. Do you have a written history?
Absolutely. Yorubas have history that goes. Listen.
Where's your written history at?
Listen. Yorubas have history that goes all the way back to creation.
Hold up. Where's the Yoruba's written history?
Well, travel to Yoruba land, you're gonna learn the history there.
Oh, no.
That's why I keep telling you, you don't know shit about Africa. You only know the white man account of African history, and you're gonna shove it down our throat as if you know. That's why I said in the chat room, you know nothing about Africa, dude.
Mike, where is your written history?
Go to Yoruba land, you'll learn my history.
Name me the Yoruba scholars of the 19th century.
Go to Yoruba land, you will learn our history there.
You're Yoruba, right?
Dude, we don't listen. Our way of doing things is listen, Kala. You only know the European way of doing things. The way we do things.
So in other words,
Listen. Listen.
History.
Do you know what they call the traditional institutions in Nigeria, in Yoruba land? They are the custodians. They are the custodians of history. We have.
All I know is my black ass was taken on the slave ship, and nobody was powerful enough to do anything about it. So
was powerful enough to do anything about it. What the fuck are you talking about?
The bottom line is this: my ancestors come from Eastern Nigeria.
Well, that's your story.
Hold on. The bottom line: I don't have no Yoruba ancestors.
You say you come from Eastern Nigeria. I'm not from Eastern Nigeria.
Let me ask you a question. Right? Where is the Yoruba almanac of achievement and everything like that? The Greeks got them.
Yeah. Well, you need to travel there and go learn about the achievements.
How come I can't go to the Library of Congress and find this?
That's what I keep telling you. Your relationship, the way you relate to Africa through Europe. Listen. All you know, your account of Africa is from Europe.
Let me ask you a question.
Go to Yoruba land. We'll give you history that goes back. Listen, we have education system. That's far more philosophically advanced than the Western system.
Hold on. Then why was Yoruba land colonized?
We were never colonized.
Oh, okay. So
what's your definition of colonization? Give me your definition. And that's why I keep telling you, your thinking is based on Eurocentric bullshit.
In other words, basically, the British Dutch oil company and everything that's in Nigeria right now, they just
Yoruba land is not the Dutch oil company is not Yoruba nation. It's not Yoruba land. They're in the Niger Delta.
It's still part of Nigeria, bro.
No, Yoruba nation is a nation.
You were colonized, bro.
No, we're not colonized. No.
Yes, you are.
What's your definition of colonize? What's your definition?
You were the protectorate. Why did they have to protect?
Protectorate. According to them, no, according to us. No, we're not.
What did you protect? You protect you from yourself?
No. Were we forced to be protectorate or anything like that?
Mike, you have to.
Were we conquered?
Mike, you have to hold the L historically.
No, we have no hell.
The L. You have to hold the L.
Name a kingdom in Yoruba land that was overthrown or dethroned by the British. Name one. It does matter. Explain to me how I was conquered or colonized.
Somebody in Europe got your country over dinner. Said,
Which country?
They gave you England, the British. They owned your land.
No, the British forced us to do it. Listen. Let me explain your colonization era. Let me tell you what's going on.
In 1960,
you don't know what you're talking about. See, that's what I keep telling you. All you know, listen. All you know is Kala. This is what you understand. Let me explain something to you. This is what you understand.
Mike,
you understand the European. This is your education here. Your education is a European account of their experience in Africa, and you consume it, and you think you understand Africa.
Mike, does 1 + 1 = 2?
You sound foolish.
No, there's 1 +
your account, your 1 + 1 = 2. Just like I'm telling you, your account, your knowledge is. Listen. Your knowledge of Africa is based on European accounts of their experience on the African continent.
Mike, if a European says in the United States we have 4 seasons and whatnot, is that true or not?
Do. That's not relevant. You're not making sense.
Mike, if the law of gravity says what goes up must come down, right?
Law of gravity is not the listen. The law of gravity is the law of nature. The law your argument is not based on law of nature. Your argument is based on law or account of European people. You've been brainwashed.
No, hold on, Mike. What goes up must come down, right? Right? What goes in could also come out, right?
Kala, you're not making sense.
I believe in LARP, right? Logical.
The law of gravity, the law of nature is different from the law Europeans, the stories Europeans give you that you consume and you believe is that's your conventional wisdom.
Mike, in 1960,
the law of gravity, the law of nature is different from conventional wisdom.
Was there Yorubas at the thing where the Queen of England gave you your own country back as independence or whatnot? Was it
Say it again.
The Queen of England gave you your independence, let you guys govern
Give
yourself. Nigeria.
I'm not dude.
You're Nigerian, man. Don't even try it. You're Nigerian.
listen.
Mike, hold that L, man. Hold the L.
Which hell are you talking about? Did anybody force me to be? Did anybody force Yoruba people to be Nigerian? We're participating in the Nigerian project because we are benefiting from it.
Oh, okay. So, bottom line is you became part of
Nigeria. But we were never forced to be Nigerians. Kala, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Lagos is in what part of Nigeria? Isn't that Yoruba territory?
Yeah, it's a gift by the British.
Okay.
Lagos, listen, let me explain Lagos to you. Let me explain something to you.
You were colonized.
We no colonize. What is your definition of colonization? Explain it.
Somebody, in other words, basically, somebody could come in your country, take what they want, do what they want to do, and everything. And also,
no. Kala. Okay, that's your definition.
Mike,
okay, go ahead, finish.
Mike, Port Harcourt, Nigeria. What part of Nigeria is that in?
Say it again.
Port Harcourt.
Port Harcourt.
Yeah,
is in the eastern part of Nigeria.
Okay, eastern part of Nigeria, right? Okay, right. Now, do you know that for the longest time, the British, right, when they were drilling off the coast, America were drilling off.
I'm not from Port Harcourt. Speak about my nation, dude. You need to understand Africa is not a monolithic society. So when you come here to talk about Africa, as if it was just one group of people that are all the same and all you know, you guys come online to talk about one area where Europeans had a progress or success, and you use it to generalize the whole continent as if, oh, look, they shut up this place, oh, shut up Africa. They shut up Africa. They conquer Africa. Are you kidding me?
See,
bring your ass to Yoruba land and come and conquer us. And see what happens to you.
Mike, this is what I'm talking about, the Negro P and the ethno-nationalists like you are. You want to distance yourself from the problems of Nigeria when you're part of Nigeria.
Yes, I have to.
Hold up. Just like my blood is Nigerian, right? I'm taking the L too.
There is no such thing as Nigerian, dude. Nigeria is a project.
If I could hold the L, right? For
which hell are you talking about?
No,
speak to me about speak about where. Speak to me as me from who I am.
I don't think you understand. I'm not saying hell. I said the letter L. You know, KL.
Loose. The loss, right?
The L. Yeah, you got to hold the L.
Kala, what is your point, man? I don't even get it. What are you arguing against?
My point is this, Mike. You gotta listen carefully, right? Black people all over the world are holding a big L.
No, all of us. You are holding a hell. I'm not holding no hell.
Mike, you're holding an L.
I'm not. Explain to me. I'm holding a hell. Explain to me. Explain to me.
Mike, Liberia. I mean, Nigeria is a fucking failed state right now.
No, Yoruba is not a failed state.
You can't separate yourself. You got to take the whole thing, man.
No. You don't understand Africa. That's why I keep telling you don't understand Africa. Your knowledge of Africa is based on Eurocentric.
Bomani, didn't I tell you earlier about these ethno-nationalists?
You don't know what you're talking about, dude. You're generalizing. Africans, we don't see ourselves as the same people.
So Makoto, where's that at? Where's that at? Makoto, the slum village of Makoto. Where's that at?
So because there's a slum in somewhere in Africa means there's no slum in America.
Isn't that
there is no poverty in America. Oh, you wanna use the poverty going on there as a basis for your.
You're saying that okay?
Is there poverty? Name a country in the world where there's no poverty.
Ibadan, isn't that your
name a country in the world where there's no poverty. There's no poverty in the United States.
No, not that level of poverty. Come on, man. Let's be honest.
Well, it has nothing to do with you losing. It has to do with you not building yourself. If we're not building ourselves,
hold up.
Listen to me, Kala. This is where you're screwing up.
You got to hold the L because Nigeria.
Which hell against who?
The law
against who?
Against yourself. You know.
Well, okay, now you got a point there. If you say hell against myself, I can accept that. But if you're telling me hell against the Europeans, then that's bullshit. I'm not accepting that.
No, you got to hold the L with yourself. Why? Because you guys basically, African millennials.
We're not in hell. We told you we're not happy where we're from. We are happy.
Here, you know.
Your friend Dennis will tell you when he goes to Yoruba land, he has a good time. The people are happy. The people are happy people. They have culture. They live in their lives. So which hell are you talking about? We're not depressed. Hell on what?
Loss.
No, you believe Europeans conquered you. And I'm telling you, Europeans never conquered me. They never conquered where I'm from.
Let me ask you a question, Mike.
And you keep coming here telling us about you want to come save us and things. We don't need save us from what?
Mike, let me ask you a question. Right? This is something that's clearing up to me right here. Historically, right? Taiwan, a little tiny country like Taiwan, right, makes billions and billions of dollars selling microchips, right? Microchips, the world, right? Semiconductors, microchips, and everything like that, right? 90% of Nigeria's revenue comes from what? Oil. They only export themselves. Foreign companies.
And before you go further, Taiwan billions money they're making from the microchips based on is due to their hard work. They learn how to build something to build their microchips.
What I'm saying is,
okay.
What I'm saying is, why is it that the Yoruba state couldn't do the same thing?
Well, we're working on getting there. We haven't got there yet.
Right, man,
Doesn't
it's a
mean
long
we can't
time,
do
man.
it.
I like
We
to-
are working. Listen. Let me explain something to you.
About.
Let me explain. Listen.
Look, I like to come to Yoruba land and you and
Kala.
everything.
Let me explain something to you. People grow at different pace. Because
like 62
listen,
years,
you gave an example of Taiwanese, right? Taiwanese are more ahead of us in technology right now, and they're progressing. We are coming behind them. Maybe eventually at one point we'll overtake them. Everybody grew on a different pace. China 30 years ago, we're not as advanced in technology as most European countries. But today, Chinese are ahead of the European countries. So don't tell me because I haven't caught up to some people mean I'm losing. No, I'm not losing. The Yorubas, we are sending our people all over the world to acquire intelligence, acquire knowledge. And in fact, we're probably one of the most educated ethnic group on the continent. Listen, eventually we will get there. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't mean I'm losing, I'm a failure because someone else is ahead of me. No, don't say that. Because someone is ahead of me in technology doesn't mean I'm a loser. Stop telling me that I'm a loser. I don't need you black Americans to be telling us about ourselves. I don't need you to teach me. If you haven't been to where I'm from, start telling me about myself.
Mike, let me ask you a question, right? Now, what is in a you got the University of Ibadan and all these other places, people, a nice building built back in the 60s, man. I like it, man. I like that. What I like about when I look at cities like Ibadan and stuff like that, I like that 1970s feel, man. It looked like it had a lot of promise back then. What the hell? Why'd y'all screw that up, man? It looked like
what up? What are you talking about?
Ibadan, the University of Ibadan,
It's still one of the best universities. What part of top 5 universities in Africa? Yeah.
Hold on. But what I'm saying, it ranks 8,000 in the world. 8,000 in the world. Now the point I'm trying to make is this.
According to someone else's.
No, but just according.
Well, that's what you guys do. That's what I keep telling you. You go by the account of one white guy that posts something on the internet, and you guys go read some story reading about some white guy. You think you've learned about Africa? Go ahead.
Mike, let me land. All right, now, but I'm trying to. You said we're sending people all over the world. Wouldn't it be better to save a lot of money, right? If you basically kept.
We are educating ourselves at home and all over the world.
Why do you have to go to abroad in the first?
You have to, Kala. You have to, Kala. Listen to me. There's no Kala. Name an advanced name. Kala. Name an advanced empire. They didn't have a diaspora.
It's not an advanced empire, man.
Listen to me. Let me explain.
The money.
Kala, listen to me. To conquer this planet, you need knowledge from all 4 corners of this planet.
Oh, come on,
the way the British name it, the Rome, every empire, even the United States. Listen to me, Kala. You don't let people talk, man.
Okay, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Even the United States, they send people all over the world to go study, spy on other nations, right? Every British Empire, how they became great, they sent what they call them explorers all over the world to go snatch, spy, and take knowledge from all over the world and bring it home, right? To become powerful, to be able to take on the world. There's no empire in the history of this planet. They didn't send these people out to the world to go study the whole world and then come back and bring the knowledge back home. So you telling me that wait, you telling me that Nigerians or Yorubas going all over the world is stupidity? That's what you guys are.
No, but I'm
saying, they just make me laugh at you guys. Like you guys are dumb. You say what are we doing in Ukraine? What are we doing in Russia? Racism is dead. If you want to achieve anything, you don't worry about racism. You go there and take whatever you want and ignore racism and bring your knowledge back home. You need the knowledge of the globe to advance.
Mike, your boy Hush Puppy, in Dubai,
It's not my boy. I say my boy. He's a criminal, but he's quite intelligent.
Mike, what I'm trying
he's
to
a brilliant Yoruba boy. Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
Look, like you guys built a city in Calabar, right? Tanapa, right? Nobody in Nigeria went to that, right? It was supposed to be a state.
How do you know nobody in Nigeria went to that? And I'm not from Calabar, so
it's abandoned. That's why.
Let's stick to where I'm from.
But check this out.
I'm not from Calabar.
But hold on, why are you guys going to Dubai, putting all your money in Dubai and everything like that?
What do you mean, you guys? Those that want to go to you. Listen, not all Nigerians are going to Dubai. Nigerians go all over the world. There's no country in the world that we don't travel to. What are you talking about?
All over the world. You're all over partying. You're not taking care of business, man.
No. Few people are partying. Now you're saying because those few people are partying, all of us are partying.
All you guys do is party.
How do you know we all party? Have you been to Nigeria?
All I see.
Have you been to Nigeria? All you see on the internet. Have you been to Nigeria, Kala?
No, I'm saying what I see.
And how do you know?
Because I know, man.
Oh, cause everything on big internet, right? Internet is where you learn about people.
You know what I'm saying? I go to Nigeria, man.
You haven't been to Nigeria. Go to Nigeria. You find out not all Nigerians are going all over the world partying.
That's what they do in Europe. And
that's what some people do.
Ukraine. What do you think they're in Ukraine? What the hell are you doing in cold ass Ukraine, man?
Go there to attain knowledge. Take knowledge. Knowledge.
Worse than I thought.
Knowledge is power, Kala. If you don't know that, I don't know what you know. Knowledge is you have to go all over the world to take knowledge.
Ukraine is a shithole. Why are you?
It doesn't matter, but they still have knowledge.
Yeah, man.
They are very advanced in studying knowledge, so we go there to take their knowledge. Listen.
Like I said,
listen. In the United States, Nigerians are the only people that we attend university where KKK dominates because we don't give a shit about KKK. We go there for the knowledge. We take it. That's how you become powerful, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. Power is what's more important. Not all this crying about not victimhood and racism or that you guys cry all about. You need power, dude.
Mike is not my enemy, but my brother, man. It's like I wish. I don't know.
Knowledge is power. Stop! You guys just start criticizing Nigerians are smart enough. We can take care of ourselves, man. We don't need you to be telling us what to do or be advising us. And we're smart. Trust me, we know what we're doing. We don't need you guys to be telling us, oh, we come here to teach you this, teach you. What do you want to teach me, man? Are you kidding me? Do you know? I told you don't know shit about Nigeria. If you come, do you know we have philosophy? Do you know that philosophy? When they say Socrates is the father of studying philosophy, if you come to, you find out that Nigerian Yorubas already had that philosophy before Socrates.
Really?
Socrates came to Africa to learn.
What do you think about Socrates? He basically said, right, in Nigeria, look at it. He said
his masters were the Africans.
Hold on. I don't know about that. But
we listen in Yoruba land. We have education system that's way advanced, more sophisticated than the so-called modern education.
Socrates said something 2,500 years ago. I agree with. He said,
today.
Let me say this. He said the masses of people need to be ruled by technocracy. They ain't shit. They'll be lazy. And he was talking about ancient Greeks. Either they're lazy, you give them handouts, everything. They'll still complain. They'll vote for people. Even if you give them the best government, they're going to want to try to overthrow it and whatever like that. People are never satisfied, you know? And so the bottom line, that's what Socrates said 2,500 years ago. And I'm starting to believe that, you know? I'm starting to believe
Kala, since you know so much about Africa, what can you tell me about my Yoruba people? Tell me, please. Tell me my history.
I know the gods, the pantheon. You got Olakan, the Dodowa. You got Ogun, the god of iron, fire, war, which I have Ogun 7. Yeah, your Moja, the gods of the sea and river god.
I know a little bit about the deity. What do you know about our philosophy? What do you know about our education system? What do you know about our knowledge, our metaphysics, our philosophy? Do you know about our philosophies?
Hold on. Let me say this, Mike. Mike Yorubas had a lot of interesting history and whatnot. I studied it and stuff like that. It's beautiful history. You know, I studied about the.
Do you know, Kala? Do you know that the Germans? Wait. Do you know that the Germans and the British were coming to Yoruba land to acquire knowledge? They allowed them to advance in technology today. Do you know that?
There's science. No one's going to argue with that, right? But Mike, we're living in the modern world, right? A lot of your sculptures and stuff like that are sitting in Europe right now.
We're not talking about. I'm not talking about sculpture. I'm talking about knowledge here. I'm talking about brain. I'm talking about intelligence.
You got a lot of European sculptures sitting in the British museum. You can't get back.
No.
You told me that's not true.
You talking about Benin sculptures? The Benin?
Yeah, a lot of sculptures sitting in Europe.
The Benin, not the Yorubas. The Benin, yeah.
Yeah, Benin. Yeah, same.
From the Benin invasion, yeah.
So the bottom line is this. Everybody like this. Why is it that look? This is what I'm problem like this. You know, you'll never hear me.
And what is your point when you say that? What is your point? What is the point you're trying to make? We'll conquer.
All right, let me say this right. Let me say this right. When I talk about Africa and everything, I break African Americans' balls. I make Jamaicans' balls. Everything. We all mix. So that's what family do. You don't take it so personally. Oh, you're attacking me as a Yoruba. That's an ethno fool.
No. The way you come to speak as if you're an expert of Africa, and you need to acknowledge the fact that you don't have a scratch
Mike, because in your
of knowledge of Africa, you don't. You just know a little bit about Liberia, and then a little bit you read from white people's account of Africa, and you think you know about Africa. You don't know nothing about Africa, man.
30 years. It's kind of 30 years. Bottom line is this: when we make stuff like this right here. One thing you haven't heard in this conversation, said in this conversation is is the fact of the matter is, the white people, right? You say let's not be racist, everything. When white people, when we talk about slavery, you know who they put the onus of slavery on? Do you think they take responsibility and everything? They said, you guys, the Yorubas, sold your own people into slavery. It wasn't our fault that we were there with ships and everything and guns, but it was the Africans who sold it. So they take.
Yeah, I mean, they were right. The Africans sold it. Some criminal African. Listen, criminality exists all over the world. They see exists today. Some criminal Africans sold human beings. Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah,
you know, and I know the Africans were coerced into slavery.
Yeah, absolutely. Some criminals, not Africans. No, you can't say the Africans. Some African criminals.
Hold up. Yeah. You will not basically lift a finger, just like you're talking about. You're scared one of your white friends is watching this right now, and you're gonna say, "Yeah, white people." Do you think the white man in Africa is good or bad?
Do I think a white man? What do you mean a white man?
I'm saying that. Okay, what do you think about the white community, the white only community in South Africa? Is that good or bad?
Well, I'm not from South Africa, so I don't know the full. I don't know the dynamic of. I don't know the. I don't have. I've never lived in South Africa, so I'm not in a position to speak.
So what I'm saying is this though. White people. Let me give you an example. Do you know there's Chinese? This is very important, Mike. You gotta listen to this. Listen to this carefully, right? Listen to this. I want you. We want to have some breakaway with this, man. We don't have to part enemies. There's Chinese people live in Japan for 300 years. They're still Chinese. They're never considered Japanese. There are Koreans that live in China, never Chinese. The white people that live in China, people don't know this, right? Europeans that live in small villages and everything that have been there for hundreds of years, that basically are still Europeans and everything, right? Why is it that the only place in the world where a white person don't even have to be born there, right, can just declare himself a Nigerian and he's being made a chief? You guys got white Yoruba chiefs over there now, you know?
No, we don't have white Yoruba chiefs in Yoruba land. I don't know where you got that from.
I've seen it with my own eyes.
No, we don't. No.
What tribe was it then?
What do you mean?
I seen.
So you don't know. So you don't know what you're talking about.
White chiefs in Nigeria that were white chiefs and everything like that. He called like this. Why is it a white man can go to Africa and says, "I'm an African"? You guys say nothing.
Are you saying the white guy in China? Listen, here's the deal. I think you need to understand full context of situation before you start generalizing or just making a conclusion. And here's another thing. If you're talking about why is it okay for white people to come to Africa, the same reason why they have blacks in Europe. People today, you yourself said it. We live in a modern world. People, the new world order. People, if you have passports, there are laws that allows you to travel where you want to go to. When you get to communities and you invest in those communities, the people appreciate your investments. They will reward you or award you and things like that. It happens all over the world. It's not only Africa.
Mike, let me ask you a question, right? Let me ask you a question. I'm not trying to embarrass you or embarrass Nigerians, right? There was a lot of Nigerians.
Good luck embarrassing me. Go ahead.
No, look, there was a lot of, because I'm embarrassed too. I'm black. We're all black. Like I wholly
forget this black thing, man. Listen, this is what I believe. Go ahead.
Let me say this, Mike. Let me say this. Now in Ukraine, right? There was a Nigerian guy who said that he was on a train to Germany, right, from Ukraine, right, and the Germans pulled him off the train, right, and interrogated him, made him strip down there. That's the most humiliating thing in his life. But I argue the most humiliating thing was when they asked you where you're from, he actually called himself a Ukrainian. He said, "I'm a Ukrainian because I got a Ukrainian passport." So the Germans say, "You're not Ukrainian. You're from Africa. I'm Ukrainian." And I'm saying to myself, and when so all those students that there, you have people in their 40s and 50s, and one lady was a grandmother. She's a student. I'm on a student visa. She was like in her 50s. We're grandkids. As a student visa. I mean, why?
Well, Kala, what you have to understand is that people, everyone is not the same. There are good people, there are bad people. People, human nature, you find people that are behaving in a very nasty way. It has nothing to do with the color of their skin. Just as you give an example of the German that treat the African guy terribly, I can give you tons of examples of my experience in America where Black Americans have treated me bad as a Nigerian. I can give another African that treat me bad. So here's the deal. That's what it comes down to. It boils down to whether you're a good person or a bad person. Just like you can have that bad German guy that treat the African bad, you also have a good German person that will be nice to the African. I've met Germans. They're very decent. They will never behave the same way that man behaves. So
the whole thing is, Mike, this is what I'm trying to say right here. if you get treated bad by African Americans, you know you ain't gonna be treated.
It's not just Black American. It's not because they're Black Americans. Because I didn't see that as him doing it because he's Black American. I see that as him doing it because he's a bad person. I don't judge a whole group of people based on the action of few. You understand? So when you start giving me these, because one white guy treats someone bad, or because one person from one group treats another person from another group bad, so I have to judge the entire group. I have to paint the entire group bad, you know. So that's why I disagree with you.
Hold on, let me say this, Mike. Let me put it like this, right? Are Black people who are nationalists justified to be apprehensive, at least after all these years, towards white people? And I got white friends.
Say it again. I didn't hear you. Repeat it.
Let me give you an example. As somebody who has white friends, I got white friends. But when it comes to like Africa and Black politics and everything like that, that's the line. What I'm seeing now is I see you guys, right?
Who's you guys?
I'll say you and Afro Dumbass and people like you. You let white people into the conversation in your folds. You let them in on our stuff. You let white people comment on things and everything like that. Will never happen.
Are you racist? What's wrong with allowing white person
that's
have conversation with you?
They have no business in my organization, but mine's organization. I'm not gonna be any part of any Black Pan-African organization with white people.
Well, that wasn't an organization. That was more of that was just conversation. You know?
But what I'm saying, why are they in your intimate conversation talking about different?
There's nothing wrong with anyone coming to join a conversation. Do you know what you can possibly learn from anyone?
No, I can't learn from them. What the hell I need to learn?
You can't learn nothing from white person. See, that's exactly. You can't learn from anyone, right?
No, the bottom line, but not on this. If you know something, I mean, let me put it like this, right? The stuff I need to know from white people, they don't want to tell you. I got to pry it out of them, you know. White people are in on certain things and everything. I learned this.
So all white people are the same. That's what you're saying.
Hold on. I get like this. I noticed this. And I'm gonna tell you something, Mike, because I've been around white people longer than you have, right?
I have a lot of white friends, and a lot of them have helped me out.
Hold on. The bottom line is this: you could be hanging out with them, drinking with them. You think they're cool and everything like that.
I'm not racist.
Hold on, right? But same white people, right? When it comes down to doing business and stuff like that, or something that they need to know, they think you don't know. You're not gonna know. You know.
Listen, how do you know that?
Who like you invest?
How do you know my personal experience? Listen, I got white business partners. I have white business friends.
I'm not saying
put me out to games, and they have. Listen, it's a mutual. And the bottom line is this: no one is going to do anything for you.
Somebody could tell you something that could spare you a lot of stuff like this. You know, white people will never go against another white person for you. You can take that to the.
Kala, let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you my experience. Let me tell you my experience.
Turn another white person on. Turn on you because you're going to have conflict with white people one day. Do you think they'll say white people?
You're gonna have it's human. I've met some white people that are very mean, very terrible towards me, and I've also met some white people that are very decent towards me. And I've met some Black Americans that were nice to me, good to me, and I've also met many Black Americans that were just nasty to me. So at the end of the day, when it comes to day-to-day interaction, race doesn't matter. It's the individual. It's the heart of the individual.
So let me ask you a question, Mike. Do you know about the Jewish community, right? Can you think you can go to the B'nai B'rith and all these other Jewish organizations? They got business connections, everything. Can you join them?
If I have something to offer, they will let me in. Yes.
They will not let you in.
If you have something to offer, listen. If I have something, Kala, you know nothing about business, man. You call yourself a businessman. You know nothing about business. Even Bomani probably know better than you. If you there's no
about Jews in New York and whatnot.
Kala,
your black ass ain't getting nowhere near them, bro.
Kala, I don't care how racist the person is. If you have something to offer that person, if you have something to offer, they'll welcome you.
They'll take it. You got something.
Exactly.
No, they're gonna take it from you.
No. I'm not dumb enough to just give.
The bottom line.
Kala, listen. Let me explain something to you. If I have something to offer you, listen. If I have something to offer,
let me give an example. A Jewish boy can have his bar mitzvah at age 13. All these kids and everything. I'm from New York. I've been around Jews all my life. These guys did a bar mitzvah. All the people put money into this fund and everything. Start that boy off on his way. Can your son join the Jewish thing and have a bar mitzvah, get a start off in life like his?
The same reason a Jewish person cannot just join my Yoruba group and just come in for just like that. Everybody have their own little section and things that, tradition and things. We're all different nations. Different, but it doesn't mean we hate each other. It doesn't mean it's all about racism.
I'm a descendant under my for the slave trade, right? My ancestors were born slave. I have an absolute right to want to be with my own people and everything. Build.
Who is your people?
African Americans and diasporans, Jamaicans, African Americans. They're all my people.
Well, we're all part of human family. I mean,
Oh, no,
every human.
no, I'm
Listen,
sorry.
Kala, let me
Sorry.
let you understand something. Human beings are territorial by
The real
nature.
world.
Kala, let me tell you something, man. Human beings, we're territorial by nature, right?
No,
And
not Africans, because everybody runs all over the continent. The Lebanese could run all over the continent. Chinese,
no, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not. Wherever
I
Lebanese
seen a
goes,
picture. Yo, check this out. I seen a picture of a Chinese guy fondling a little African girl's breast right there and putting it on the world. We're not territorial because we don't.
oh, a picture of one Chinese guy did something bad.
Oh,
No,
okay,
all Chinese are doing it,
we're
right?
not territorial. You know, if we were territorial,
Listen, let me tell you something.
Ukraine, you would be in Africa right now building instead of going to
Building.
Ukraine. You're not territorial.
He's in Ukraine to fetch for himself. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with individual to find whatever he found, whatever treasure he finds in Ukraine, goes to get it.
The bottom line is this: Africans are not territorial. I don't know what happened.
No, humans are come to my place. Don't have nothing to offer and think you can just take over. We'll behead you, dude.
Territorial.
Listen,
Anybody can go.
all these Chinese you're talking about. Listen, there's no Chinese man that showed up anywhere in Africa that they have nothing to offer and just came. They welcome him.
It doesn't matter.
They welcome him because he brought something.
Then they're gonna take more than what they give.
Africans are not as dumb as you think. Your view of Africa is based on your Eurocentric knowledge, based on how Africa has been presented to you on media and white man's written, some racist white person book and all that shit. Africa is not as dumb as you think. Trust me. I'm not saying there are some places in Africa people are completely dumb, but Africa is not a monolithic society. So stop grouping us up. Start giving examples of one tribe where they're not so high in IQ and start to say we're all like that. And I'm trying to tell you, if you want to make a statement about a place, Africa, be specific. Talk about, okay, this ethnic group over there, they're making a mistake or they're doing something dumb. But don't say it's the whole Africa, dude. Where I'm from, we're not as stupid as some people that you've encountered, So stop generalizing. That's the point. And you need to visit places before you start talking about them. You need to come to where I'm from, come and experience, and then you can start talking.
All right. Well, Mike, it was great having you. Hey, Bomani, well, we got.
But here's the deal, though. Here's the deal. What the ultimate point I'm trying to make is, at the end of the day, yeah, I agree with you that. Hey, we may
wrap it up. I'm getting tired. I'm hungry.
No, let me ask you this last question. There's one point I want to make with you. No. What is your definition of Pan-Africanism? I think. What is your definition of Pan-Africanism? That's my one question I wanted to ask you.
Answer that question. I'm tired, right? The Pan-Africanism is, I believe Africans are by race. Pan-Africanism is something that was born out of slavery and everything. White people started this race war. We didn't start it. You act like we're like this. We're only reacting to this shit, They started this one. They went around. Let me give you a story, Mike. Let me give you a story, right?
While you say you're tired, I want to give me a story.
Mike, hold up, Mike. Let me say something, right? In the Civil War, the black soldiers of the 54th Regiment, right? 200,000, right? Fought the Confederacy, whipped their friggin' ass. What did we get out of it? Nothing, right? Black people stormed the beaches of San Juan, right? And during the Spanish-American War, we fought in the Philippines.
But that's their fault, man.
Hold on. Let me say this. Let me finish, right? Black men went to World War I, right? The hell of hell fighters, toughest riders. Hitler said, man, he'd never seen warriors like this in life. One soldier take out 6 Germans at one time, easily, like this, save the whole platoon. Black men went overseas and saved France. France didn't even want to fight, right? We saved Europe and everything. We did all this stuff. We get back to America, right? You know how they repaid us? They lynched us and burned us alive in the streets. So
I know these stories, man.
Hold on. So please don't tell me about white people, how great you are. I'm going by my ancestors, what my ancestors went through. Just like white people still talk about.
I understand it.
Hold on. White people talk about the Alamo. Remember the Alamo. Remember Pearl Harbor. But God damn it, remember the lynchings. Remember Emmett Till.
So was he all white people that did it? Was he all white people that did it?
The bottom line is this. If I got anger in me and whatnot, I got righteous anger. I got every right to be.
Yeah, I respect that.
Bottom line is this. This is the problem I have with you. Some of you guys come over here. That's you.
No, Kala. Kala, here's the deal. Here's the deal.
So when
Kala,
I say Pan-African,
let me tell you why I agree with you.
My brother Bomani is my Pan-African brother because his ancestors came here as slaves too. I'm talking about slave descendants. I'm not talking about African immigrants. I'm not an ADOS FBA. I don't believe in that stuff like that. I believe you're a brother. But
now I'm glad you said that. So you and I on the same page then.
Oh, the bottom line, hold on. Bottom line is this. When it comes to stuff like that, when I hear some of you guys talking in Canada's Empire show, right? You guys don't friggin' get it. You know, you guys don't get it. You still think you're gonna have to strike some deal with white people and do like this. The bottom line is this: white people, on the whole, this is the way we see it. I could be wrong, right? But from what I see right here, it's a global race war, and you got lines are drawn based on race.
Not necessarily. I mean, Ukraine and Russia are the same race of people, but they're fighting each other.
Check this out. Let me say something, Mike. Let me answer this.
China and Japan are sworn enemy. They are the same race.
Yeah, I know that. But the bottom line, we don't need white people for anything. We need each other first.
Exactly. At the end of the day, I don't think it's all of us. But you don't get the main points, Kala. If you just give me a second to give you the main points. What I'm telling you is, for blacks to work together, it's going to have to be good black people coming together to work together. Not all black people, because there are terrible black people. You have to learn to separate them from the.
I don't deal with no
so it can be race based. So that's why I ask you the question: what is your definition of Pan-Africanism? Okay, because my definition is different.
I'm saying like this.
My definition is.
I'll give you example. Right? This right. If I have the Afrikstan Corporation, right? It's in Africa Incorporated. I got Liberia Incorporated. Let's say like this, right? Now, if somebody says, you know something, I got these Europeans that want to invest in that, I said no problem with that. But the bottom line is this: it has to be a third party, and the bottom line is Europeans have to stake their interest in this, that, and the other thing. Everything has to be split down the middle and everything, like the Japanese do. When you have to have a joint venture and everything. The problem I have is when I see Africans, right? They'll let Europeans sit on the board. They'll sit on a thing, and they'll mingle with the Africans back and forth and everything. And then they'll try to tell the thing.
The Africans, all Africans, or some of them.
I see it right now in the oil industry in Nigeria. You know,
in the oil industry. Oh, you work in the oil industry then?
You in Port Harcourt in the 1970s. You pull out pictures of Port Harcourt, all white Americans, and then with their families, and living in houses in Port Harcourt, Nigeria. What the hell?
Well, if they had the technology to do the wait. Stop this thing you keep saying. At that time, if the Nigerians didn't have the technology to extract the oil, to do whatever work that needs to be done, and if this company, let me explain to you how the system works.
Hello, we have black people in America that was extracting oil in Oklahoma.
There was no black people. Why didn't you show up then?
You guys didn't reach out. You guys didn't want to know anything.
So reach out. We didn't know it. No, you didn't. You didn't have, there was no black American company that had the technological.
You have Timothy Highpower, 1978, started the first black-owned oil company, operates in 7 continents. You had black people in the oil.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't have black. No, stop making up shit, man. You do that a lot. You make up shit. Your black American had this, they had that. You didn't. In the 60s, you didn't have that. You didn't have that major oil company. Black American never owned that major oil company that had the technology.
This is what I'm gonna tell you.
The technology.
Hold on. First of all, it's not even the oil company because
and you didn't make me land my points. The thing is, if at that point the people that had the technology to come and do the work I happen to be white people, and the Nigerian needed someone to do the work. Whoever comes to bid for it, we give them the contract. It doesn't mean we submit it to them.
Mike, this is what I'm gonna kill your argument, right? First of all, at first, those people were drilling off the oil from their platform. They didn't even have an office. The Nigerian government made them open offices in Port Harcourt, And so, second of all, the whole thing.
How do you know this, man?
That's what happened in history.
Really, you were there. Where did you learn that from? Where did you get that information from?
It's just freaking common knowledge. If you knew your own history,
common knowledge, really.
You know what I'm saying? If I have,
you want to read some propaganda.
You know how many books on Nigeria I have? I got
books on Nigeria, written by who?
Nigeria,
you be reading books written by some white person. That's your problem. You guys consume information. You consume account of some dude that just write rubbish, and you think you've got something figured out. You think you have knowledge.
Bottom line is this, right? Those white people that were there, right? There was the people doing administrative work. They didn't have no knowledge, right? All they do is handing paperwork for the government and do like this.
Listen, we make deals. The deals may be bad, but it's deals. They didn't force us.
The drilling platform was a contract, right? We contract you to extract the oil. So there's 2 separate entities. You could did that yourself. You didn't need those white people.
Did what?
You could do the administrative work yourself. You didn't need.
Why did you know we didn't do it?
Because there's no white.
So we're done. We're not doing anything, right? No, we're not doing any administrative work. We're done, right? How do you know that? Were you there?
Oh man, Mike, man, you're hilarious, man.
You don't know. Did the Nigerian government tell you that they were not doing any administrative work?
The Nigerian
You guys look at Africa from bullshit they present to you. You think we just these people on the continent just dumb and don't do nothing, and white man just come over there and walk over us and just
like that.
You don't know what you're talking about, man.
What appears is apparent, man.
Listen, the way you describe us is very insulting, dude. The way you describe Nigerian, the way you describe it is very insulting. Not because I think you hate us, but you describe from a point of ignorance. Because you've never been to a place, never interacted. You don't know not you never been, you don't know the facts. But you just come based on things you assume, from the knowledge you consume on the internet or somebody says somewhere, and you think you already figured the Africans out. You just, these Africans are doing. White man can just walk over there and take over shit and colonialism. No, that's not facts.
That's what happened, man.
No, what do you mean that's what happened? Based on whose accounts? Have you got the Nigerian people's accounts? Were you telling me?
Was those accounts down? Was it real peer review study, man? I'm just going.
Peer review study, but you consume. That's the thing with a lot of you African American. You consume so much information from white people. The same way you guys watch Discovery channels and all these things, and you think in the 90s, average African American think everyone in Africa was walking around naked. And I literally used to argue with them. Like, dude, no, we don't walk around naked. No, yeah, you walk around naked. Y'all naked over there.
You're talking about ignorant people, man. I know what I'm talking about.
No, everyone is ignorant to some degree. You're still ignorant too. And I keep telling you, it's the same thing. You may be a little bit more not. It's the same thing, the way you talk. You think you got things. Your knowledge is based on what you've consumed from white people's accounts. White people present Africa to you. They tell you, this is Africa. This is what they do. We came there. And you guys consume it and you think got it figured out. When you come and say, you American Liberians came and civilized us in Africa and you came to Nigeria. That's some bullshit, man.
That's another
comment. Kala, that's the ultimate point I'm trying to make to you. That's the deal, man. Listen. We as blacks or whatever, we can work together as a group to advance. Listen, advance countries. Of course, one thing I agree with you is this: you and Bomani and everybody else. One thing, and the reason why I come on board with you, Dynasty, everybody, is because I believe that the black countries, we can advance, and it would take us working together and things like that. But where I tend to disagree is saying that all person of black race, we all have to be all united. It's not possible. But let me learn. The good people of all black groups, like the good people of black Americans, the good people of Nigeria, the good people of Caribbean, the good people coming together to put ideas together and make things happen. That's my definition of Pan-Africanism. Not the ones you guys are talking about. That if your skin is black, you're gonna have to unite.
The Pan-Africanism just means the unity of black people and everything like that throughout the world.
No, that's not my definition. That's your definition. Because I'm not trying to unite with people like Tariq Nasheed. God forbid. I'm not uniting with useless human beings like Nakmizi, all those kind of bastards, man. I'm not interested in uniting with terrible black people.
Check this out. NATO is a pan-European, pan-Euro thing.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is, man. Why do you think
Russia is not part of NATO?
Yeah, but the whole thing is, like I say,
and also, and I'm glad you mentioned that. Finish, and I will respond. Go ahead, finish. Yeah.
Oh, this is what I'm saying. You have do you remember the Bang Dung conference? You ever heard of Bang Dung conference?
No. Let's focus on the NATO. You did know that NATO. Let me respond to that NATO before you go into that one. Wait, before you go into that.
Mike, hold up. You heard of the 1955 Bang Dung conference?
No, go ahead and explain.
Okay. This is Mike. This is your homework assignment, right? Look back. I'm serious, man. I'm not joking.
Okay. I'll go look.
Okay. Mike, you come back next week and you tell me about this, right? The Bang Dung Conference of 1955 in Jakarta, Indonesia, right? Adam Kwame Nkrumah was there. That basically set the course. The Asian countries said, "Look, we're tired of colonialism." Where all these Asian countries met, right? The charter.
All Asian countries.
Some African country thing. Matter of fact, Ghana was
including
Nkrumah was there. He was invited.
Colonialism.
Adam Clayton Powell was there. There was the biggest historic event. It was 10 years after.
Don't say the countries, say individuals, groups.
Hold on. All right. Lee Kuan Yew of Singapore was there. All these countries set up a charter, right?
Those are individuals, not countries.
Hold on. Listen. Would you shut up for a second? Listen to what I'm saying. Look, they set up a thing saying that we have a common enemy. The Europeans, the Dutch, and the Indonesian, got rid of the Dutch. Every last single statue.
I don't think they said the European. They said the European power base, the governments.
They said neo-colonial and European domination. Within 3 decades, right? You have the Peng Loi group, right? All the infrastructure and everything built by Southeast Asian countries. They working together, school together.
No. Do you know that most of the Asian countries have to work with the Soviets, right?
All these Asian countries,
they have to work with the Soviets, right?
Hold on. The Peng Loi group, right, is a massive infrastructure building, one of the biggest in the world. They built all the roads, bridges, highways, tunnels, everything, stadiums in Asia, right? An Asian corporation, multinational.
Really? And they built the whole China too, right?
No, hold up. No such. They don't need.
They built China and Japan right? And South Korea, right?
Hold on.
You don't know what you're talking about, man.
Hold on. The Peng Loi group also has operations in Korea, South Korea, all the Asian countries.
And they built the whole South Korea, right?
Check this out. Hold on. Check this out.
And Japan.
Most of the major infrastructure, Singapore and all this stuff is run by the Peng Loi group. But what I'm trying to say is this: there's many different Asian countries, right, that have multinational corporations.
There is no union among the Asian countries. Stop making up stuff, man. There's no union. Taiwan and China are not on the same page. Japan and North Korea and South Korea, they're not on the same page. Stop these whole Asian. Come on, man.
In Japan, right, hate each other, but they do $400 billion a year worth of business together. Okay.
Same with every country on the planet. They do business. China, Japan, they do business with countries. United States, Africa, Europe. Everybody do country. They do business.
Nigeria exports is oil, right? And it's
really
80% of Nigeria.
Okay, fine. I get it. We're not there yet. Okay, I get it. But what does that mean? Does it mean what? What do you mean we're stupid?
They came together based on what? Race. It
wasn't based on race. China and Russia didn't come together based on race. Sorry.
Okay. So what was it then?
China and Russia didn't come together based on race. They came together based on interest.
I'm not talking about Russia. I'm talking about China and Japan.
No, you think countries come together based on race, but I'm telling you it's not true. People come together based on interest. And if you and I are going to come together, it's going to be based on interest. Listen, if you and I and Bomani and a lot of Caribbean and Black Americans are going to come together, it's going to be based on interest. It's not going to be based on race because just because you're black doesn't mean I have to trust you. I can never trust someone like Tariq Nasheed or Nakmizi and all those useless fucking criminals.
I don't know about that, but
I don't believe in that race thing. I believe in interest. Listen, everybody have their interest. If we're going to come together as black people, it's going to be based on interest, not based on skin color. Okay.
Your interest in your race. Bottom line is this.
Forget that race thing, man. Listen, you're more. Listen. Let me tell you something, man. Since I've been living in the United States, right? Majority of my Nigerian community, people that have been murdered or been threatening, even my life been threatening so many times. Majority of people that committed act of violence and even murder against my community has been Black Americans, man, not whites. So I'm not saying that I hold it against all Black Americans, but what I'm saying is, what the hell are you telling me about this race thing, man? Like, I mean, come on. I mean, you guys are more hostile towards African immigrants than white Americans. So what are you talking about? I gotta be doing this race thing with you. I'm sorry, I don't do these things, man. Like Measley 2 weeks ago says he's gonna blow my brains off when he sees me. White man has never told me he's gonna blow my brains off. So what are you telling me about this? Let's do this race thing.
Just a couple of months ago.
Listen, I can walk with you, but I can never walk with someone like Nakmizi or Tariq Nasheed and all those fucking those bastards, man. Those criminals, those wicked human beings. You know what I'm saying? I can walk with you and diners and good Black Americans. But I'm not walking with some useless gangsters and all those bastards, man. Those criminals. I don't believe in this coming together because we're Black. No, if you're a criminal, I'm not coming with you. I'm not uniting with you. You know?
Mike, a couple of last year, a freaking Jamaican guy thought just like you did, right? Went on a camping trip with some white guys. Guess what happened to him? He was killed. He was murdered. There, but
I'm not saying a white guy out there is not wicked to some wicked white guys doesn't exist. But what I'm saying is wicked people exist among all people. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I would never be friends with a good white person. I have white guys that be my friends for years. Very good people. Look out for me. When I call them, they look out for me. They come in.
Mike, are you single? Are you single?
So I'm not going to say because I want to do Pan-Africanism. I'm going to be enemy with every white person I see. I'm going to hate all white people. I'm not interested in that shit, man.
Mike, are you single or married?
I'm married. So what's the point?
Okay, when you were single, did any of the white guys introduce you to their sister?
Say it again?
Did any of these white guys ever say, you know something, Mike, you're a good guy, man. You know, here's my sister. You can date her.
What the hell? What's the point? What point are you making, Kala? You know, you sound so ridiculous. What the hell? What point are you making?
White people are cool, man.
So every black man introduced me to his sister, right? So every black guy would say, hey, Mike, hey, we're friends, come fuck my sister.
I would want you to make but I guess that's a different story.
So every black man would tell you, come screw his sister, right?
Yeah.
Every human being, individuals have his own individual interests. If a white guy is stupid enough to say, hey, come screw my sister, that's on him.
Maybe he wanted you as a brother-in-law. How come you should?
But at the end of the day, the bottom line is, if the way you present yourself, the way you relate with people, is how people are going to treat you. That's what I believe. Yeah, there are people that may, have that nature of just, or their mentality of saying, I just hate this whole group because they look like this or because their skin color. Yeah, there are people like that. There are many white people like that. I believe they just hate black people because of the color of their skin. Those are sick human being. But it's not all white person that's like that. And there's some blacks that just hate you because of the way you talk. There's some blacks that will say, I know blacks that hate you.
You should be a lawyer, man.
I know black Americans just hate Africans.
White people.
So they hate Africans more than they hate even white men. I know many of them. So does it mean it's because they are black American? No, it's because they're sick. It has nothing to do with their race or their group. This human beings, you are who you are based on your upbringing, based on your indoctrination, based on your mentality, not because of your skin color or because of the tribe you come from or the nation you come from. You are who you are based on your indoctrination and your upbringing and your, state of mind. That's all it is. So I don't believe in this. Now, don't get me wrong, Kala Genesis. I'm not saying there's no issue of our black countries trying to advance and things like that. And we good black people come together and find a way to make Jamaica advance, Caribbean countries advance, African countries advance, and black Americans, the society, community advance. I'm on board with that. You understand what I'm saying? That's an interest. That's an idea. I'm on board with that idea. I'm on board with it. But what I'm not on board with is telling me.
Let me ask you a question, Mike. Let me ask you a question. We say that the ultimate goal of the black diaspora, as far-fetched as it sounds, right, is to build a new city-state on the African continent that's basically free from colonialism and stuff like that.
Colonialism.
The best minds on the continent. Right now, Africa is still freaking colonized, right? I believe.
Really? Based on what?
Based on the way you talk right now,
What's your definition of colonized? We're not being colonized. The thing is, no.
Let me ask you a question, right? I seen a video, right, where you have Africans, Nigerians that live in Germany, right? And this fool called himself a German. He said he was a German. He said, I'm a German.
Well, that's on him. That's on him. That's on him. Does it mean I'm the same way? Does it mean I think the same way as him?
How is it that African, right, one generation, not even a generation, could lose?
But that's the individual. That's on him.
But it was a whole group of them.
Well, that's them. It's not all of us. That's 200 million Nigerians taking this.
I said to myself, these are the best minds in Africa. They said,
no, those are not the best minds. Trust me. If you think that's the best mind, then you're confused.
Hold up. This is what they're doing. They're bringing the best minds, and they make Africa.
They're not taking the best minds. You guys should stop that fallacy, man.
Africa has.
No, they're not.
You tell me Africa doesn't have a brain drain.
Yeah, we suffer some degree of brain drain, but you can't tell me it's only you can't tell me it's only the brains that are living in Africa. Most of the people that live are actually dummies. You can't tell me those people crossing the Mediterranean Sea, they're all the best of the Africans.
So what I'm saying is
let me tell you something, the best of Nigerians don't leave Nigeria.
Let me see.
The best of Nigerians don't leave Nigeria. The Dangote, the richest Nigerians are in Nigeria.
Oh, okay. What I'm saying is this though. Hold up. First of all, Dangote has a monopoly. That's why he's rich,
Not only Dangote, all the richest Nigerians, the billionaires, the second class, the best doctors, the best lawyers, the best. They stay in Nigeria. It's those of us that couldn't compete with the best that leave.
If you put me in Nigeria, right, and said, okay, build industries and whatnot, and nobody else, you have no competition, I'll become a billionaire too overnight.
No, you can't. Kala, you cannot survive in Nigeria. You cannot compete with Nigeria based on what I know about you. You're not intelligent enough to compete with the Nigerians. I'm telling you. Maybe in Liberia.
And you know that. But let's see. The question I want to ask is this, right? Now, if we're talking about building an African state on the African continent, shouldn't the Afrikstan be able to compete for the minds of the young Africans instead of them going to Europe and everything like that and say, hey, look, we can come over here and build and live over here instead of going to, hey, you can study here and stuff like that.
There are many Africans. There are many. Listen, do you know the best of Nigerian students study in Nigeria? Do you know that?
Oh, where?
It's like listen. What you don't understand is this. Do you know? Do you know how many universities we have in Nigeria? Do you know? Do you know how many universities we have in Nigeria?
Well, I do know. Every time you guys do a
How many universities do we have in Nigeria?
Mike, check us out. I do know that every time you guys play soccer, you guys disappear. You don't get back on a plane, and go back to Nigeria. I do know that part.
What do you mean? Oh, the poor guy that wants to make it on his own. So that's based on all. That's all of us, right?
Man, when it comes down to like, okay, we had
no. Stick to no. Answer the question I asked you. Do you know how many universities we have in Nigeria?
Come on, man.
Do you know how many universities we have in Nigeria?
When are we gonna basically make Nigeria a place where Africans like, I gotta get there? Not that
Say it again.
Out.
Say it again.
When are we gonna make Nigeria a place where, like, goddamn, like Danny Samir can't be the only black person in the world that wants to go to Nigeria?
But Danny's love it though. He told you he's addicted to Nigeria. He loved Nigeria. He went there and he fell in love. So what are you talking about?
But
your friend John Cashin went to Nigeria and fell in love with Nigeria. He abandoned America for Nigeria. So Kala, what are you talking about?
32 years and he still hasn't built that monolith.
He abandoned America for Nigeria. That's how much he fell in love with Nigeria. That's how beautiful Nigeria is.
Whatever, Mike.
Nigeria, listen, stop this fallacy. Visit Nigeria, Kala. I will take you around Nigeria. In fact, I will sponsor you, man.
Please.
Spend time in Nigeria. You learn the greatness of Nigeria.
Like 80% of the time in traffic, right? Yeah, that's really what.
Yeah, that's only if you go to Lagos and all that stuff. Man. I'll take you to rural Nigeria. You see wonders. You see magic. I will take you to places that you will be convinced that nuclear weapon is useless. I will show you places where people.
It's all good. Hey, Bomani, I really got to go. Well, Tuesday night we can do a show. Tuesday night if you want to do a show.
I want to do it, Kala. I don't know. I want to do a show with you.
Hold on, Kala. Hold on. Play that clip. Let me play that clip. Brother Mike, appreciate you.
Appreciate you coming. He's draining. Mike's draining. God dang. It's like I went through 12 rounds and shit, man. Like, damn, without warming up first. You know, Mike, I can take Mike, but geez, you know.
All right, yes, Kala, this is what we had said.
Yeah.
Then of course things are only going to improve. But I keep hearing that Africans, they leave and they go to America and this and that. No, you are a financial migrant, or you are a migrant.
All right, let me start that back over without any interruption.
Because the more of us leave and the more of us come back and the more of us work together positively towards, harmonious intervention, harmonious contribution to the society that we're living in, then of course things are only going to improve. But, I keep hearing that, Africans, they leave and they go to America and this and that. No, you are a financial migrant. Or you are a migrant. We are diasporans. And there needs to be a difference made between someone who has financial aspirations or going as a student to us whose parents were forced out of their motherland. We didn't have a choice. So we are not economic migrants. We are diasporans in the true sense of the way we and our ancestry is linked to the forced taking of us as captive against our will, where millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of people died in the worst atrocity in the history of mankind. And we must never forget it. And Africa has a price to pay. Africa also has to make amends. Right? And I am not going to sit here, and most idiots that you talked about that are online trying to destroy the Pan-African movement, let them go to hell, or whatever else is good for them. Stick their heads where the sun don't shine and drown. As far as I'm concerned, we have to get hardcore with them. We need to go online and destroy them. Yeah, I'm not playing. You call me a warrior, call me a fighter, call me whatever, but we need to get together as black people and stand up. Yeah, and say no more. This idiot peon or whatever his asshole name is, excuse my language, yeah? Let him go die somewhere. We should be killing his channel and killing him. He marries some white clown. He not even representing nothing. He don't mean nothing. And we as black people need to stand up and be counted and fight. I'm tired of all of this cowardice and this passivism. They've made us into something that we're not. We are fighters, we are warriors, we are kings, we are queens. And we must stand up. They mustn't destroy our fight. They mustn't destroy our Garveyitism. They mustn't destroy our Pan-Africanism. They mustn't destroy our love for Africa. While they sit down in some European place with some porn star. Hell no. Telling lies from morning till night on us. Telling untruths against us. Trying to defame us. Trying to destroy us. Look what they've done to so many other people on YouTube. Because of me, I don't care. They can tell lies all day and all night. I'll still keep saying, brothers and sisters, come home. Because each and every one of us has a legacy of Nanny of the Maroons. Each and every one of us has a legacy of Marcus Garvey. Each and every one of us has a legacy of every single freedom fighter that there has been. Yeah, Harriet Tubman is in all of us. That's why we're here today on this channel. Dynas has done too much work for some idiot sitting in Europe with some little white porn star to try and undo. I diss him, I diss his family, I diss everybody because he's just a waste of space, an empty bag of gas. He's just an agent, and we're going to get agents working against us the same way as Marcus Garvey was shot in his chest, the same way as he was in prison, the same way Malcolm X, the same way Martin Luther King. And we've got to learn to stand up and be counted and fight against it and say, no, this is our Africa, our destiny, our future, and we are going to claim it. And we are claiming our birthright. And whether you like it or not, Africa, we are here and we're here to stay. And that is it. And if you don't want to give it to us, we'll claim it in time.
Send this clip to the African Union.
Okay. Hey, say, Carrie, go ahead. Say
you have to wait for my first.
Hi, everybody.
Wow, brother Kala, that was you on that show.
Yeah, man. The bottom line is this, man. Go back and listen to that show, folks, with Diane Samir from like a month ago, I believe it was, called Dual Citizenship. That Liberia legalized dual citizenship. That was a powerful broadcast. Holy jeez, that stirred up a big stir on the internet. And my whole thing is, she was absolutely right. You know, when she says there's got to be some sort of differentiation. And that's why I agree with this African six region union. That's playing with us. You know, there's no damn thing. You gotta say something. When it comes, everything goes back to power, right? Now, people gotta keep messing with us and everything like that. It doesn't come out. Africans, I'm sick and tired of every time I see how many. We had the Leon Sullivan principle. Remember that Leon Sullivan group traveling to Africa? We had so many people going to Africa like this, and they always go and they always do the thing, but we never come back with the bag or anything like that. This is why when Barney says at the top of the show, we got people out there want to get involved, but they never see any tangible results. And this is what we're going to change. So don't play with me, no sixth region of the African Union, you know? It's time for us to basically be strong enough to be like this. This is what we want on demand on the African continent going forward. This is what we can bring to the table. We dominate all these major cities in America. You know, we brought it was black mayors. People don't realize this. It was black mayors and black people and black colleges and everything who divested from South Africa that brought apartheid down. Black America. We refused their planes in our city to land in our city. We cut them off. We have that sort of power if we're organized. If Africa says, you know, we're serious about bringing our people home and building and everything, it can happen. But this idea that, race don't matter and I could deal with white people, that's different from the generation. Back then, black people, we didn't have black people like Mike O back then, you know? They were like, yeah, we're tied together. Somehow somebody put in the air that, we could do business with the Chinese. I said to him, you look at the Pong Loi group, that's a direct result of the Bandung Conference. The Asians control their ports. They don't have friggin' ports being taken away from like Africa right now, you know, managing their ports and everything. Or Zambia, they're taking the airport and everything. We're sick and tired of this nonsense. and these coward ass Africans that step to the fucking side and let us real nationalists and everything do this. You know, that's what's happening. You know, and the bottom line is this, and also, and when us Pan-Africanists successful in Africa, we'll make it safe for white people in there. They would much rather. I tell white people all the time, we'll make it safe for you, because look what's going on in Sierra Leone. You don't want that anger. That's the anger of knowing that people are angry because of it. If that is directed towards you, you white people on the continent are in trouble. Right now, white people got us trained. When we get angry, we burn down our own buildings, we kill other black people. And white people just sitting there, oh, the Negroes are rioting, everything like that. You want us to build Africa. You know?
Perfect. So, Kala, back to the question right there. Well, I didn't put it in a question format, but right there, the same question right there on the screen. Is Africa serious about Black power and nation building? So, family, we've been talking and we've been analyzing.
Right now, it's a suggestion.
Even had a little debate between my brother Kala and his good Nigerian brother, just to kind of just putting things in context. But you know, we have people have lots of work to do, and we got to definitely figure this one out. And yes, the best of us have to come together. Kala, on that recording, she was talking about your famous friend.
The unapologetic Negro. He's the king of the Negropean. This Negropeanism is spreading like a plague, you know?
Yeah, so it's people like him, it's him, and a lot of his little trolls out there. They definitely just, you know, literally just have to go. And so, you know, people have to, you know,
and what gets me is
find different ways to run them off. Because I thought, you know, go ahead.
Brother Bomani, I thought that he had his oversight. Are you using Negropeans as oversight?
No, I was hoping
you decided to do it on your own, right? You're not using his.
Absolutely. Only a loser would use a site named Oversight by somebody who call himself the unapologetic Negro. I mean, this clown, like, literally, he literally just made his video a few days ago. He's back, like, literally just.
Oh yeah, he's been gone for 4 months. He said he had a baby. What, he gave birth or something? He was like, how can we go for 4 months?
We ran that coward off.
We ran him off. We crushed him.
Telling people that when I go back to Ghana, I'm gonna get arrested. I can't go back to Ghana.
You show us pictures of your
my land is fraudulent and all kind of stuff.
For the
I literally just showed people on my whole Ghana documentation in May and June of this year, and you know, let people know that people like that out there, they ride on all kind of lies and stuff like that. But as she was saying, you know, people definitely got to kill his channel, man. These people are literally plagues everywhere. So, you know. So
let me respond to something Michael says. Colin, see, these people never want to give Black America. Black America, it was the Soviets and the Cubans that brought down apartheid. Oh my God, man. This guy don't know history. He didn't even know what the Bang Dung Conference was. One of the most pivotal moments in the human history, the Bang Dung Conference, you know? Why they had a Bang Dung Conference, right? And Africa had something, the OAU. All the stuff the OAU was trying to do, the Bang Dung Conference did, and Asia is what it is right now. China cities. African stuff like that. Oh, well, Kwame and Nkrumah was nice, but you failed. Y'all overthrew them. You know, that's the problem with the Black race. We think people are we want to play games. We're not playing here. This is human life. Next time we have the OAU, rebuild the OAU, and you Negroes get in the friggin' way, we're going to deal with you Negroes first. That's the difference between Asia and Africa. Asians execute their traitors, you know, or something like that. You know, we can't afford you Negroes no more. You know, the OAU, right, and the Bang Dung had around the same time. Actually, the OAU conference happened in 59, right? 4 years after the Bang Dung conference, right? But the OAU did not accomplish anything. The Bang Dung Conference, Asia now has shining cities from sea to shining sea. They control the ports. They got they can create millionaires and billionaires every day. Singapore's GDP, 300 square miles. Its GDP, GDP is higher than Nigeria's. Its for your per capita income is $75,000 a year. You know, look at all these countries in Asia. Malaysia and Singapore and Thailand are building new smart cities, right? Singapore, South Korea is building this $50 billion smart city, which is going to have all the friggin' best minds of Asia competing for jobs and technology and everything. Fusion restaurants, shopping malls, everything. Africa, you got the friggin' Echo Atlantic still sitting there doing friggin' nothing. You know, Echo Atlantic, isn't that Yoruba territory, Mike? You know, 20 years. And I love Governor Fashola of Nigeria. He's my hero, you know, but he just gave up on Nigeria. Y'all freaking stupid. 20 years, man. Y'all started before Dubai. You know, the Echo Atlantic was thought about before Dubai. Look at Dubai and look at Echo Atlantic. So please, Mike, don't tell me about what you freaking Negroes are doing all over the world. Bring your black ass back to Nigeria and build something. Don't tell me about Dynas and John Cash. Those are two people I know that like Nigeria. Nobody else likes that place because you guys ain't building nothing. You build something worthy of us coming there and saying, yes, we're going to build something without airline. Or you don't want to do it, you get out of the way and let us do it. And that's not hurting people's feelings. That's just telling you like it is. How the little Asians, little tiny Asians, going to take over and kick the white man in the ass. And when the Africans say, oh, man, I love white people and everything. He's fucking embarrassing. And I like Mike, too. Seems like a good guy. But you're dangerous, bro. Yeah, Echo Atlantic City, man. This freaking is sad, man. I want Nigeria to win. I want to be able to brag and say, look at that city, that black city and everything. I want to be proud to say that. You think that is all this stuff like that, every time you fail in Africa, when it reflects on all of us. That's what I'm talking about. You know, my Yoruba section. No, fool. When you fail, all Africa fails.
Yes, Kala Genesis, this one is special for you. Something quote unquote with the Afridamus report.
What? Where? What quote? Where is this?
Right on your screen.
Okay, Bomani, can you give us analysis, insight regarding the reason the Afridamus report Gambia always focuses on? Because the bottom line, this is what it is. This is Afridamus, right? It's like, hello there. I'm Africa Dumbass. You know, Africa Dumbass is somebody who's a product of the British and everything. And you look at, he's a quintessential Negropean, right? He goes to Gambia. He doesn't fit in with the local people, right? He doesn't fit in. He's awkward and everything. So he starts, just like a lot of these guys do. They'll live in Europe and they'll talk about that great Soninke people and whatnot. They Europeanize their heritage, right? And they weaponized. He said, Sonikes, we were slave traders, we were conquerors and everything. What that does is when people say that, that pits black people in the diaspora against each other. You're saying that you went along with the slave trade just to make yourself, just for a few butter biscuits, and actually they get around white people like that. Oh, you don't have to worry about me, boss. I was one of the slave traders, you know? That's Afro dumbass. That's how he thinks. And bottom line, Afro dumbass has never talked about the European sex trafficking in Gambia. He never talks about that. But he talked about beating up on the Bag family, beating up on Kwesi, beating up on this person, you know? Beating up on black people who just want to go to Gambia and be left the fuck alone. You know, and I say I guess Michael don't understand that black people, we basically brought these sanctions on South Africa. In 1985, U.S. Congress overrode President Reagan's veto and passed international sanctions on South Africa. South Africa had 1 year it was going to collapse. That's why Mandela, they started negotiating with Mandela. That's what happened, you know. You don't even realize that all the black colleges divested their endowments from South Africa. All the cities where black people held pension funds divested. South Africa was the world reserve currency at the time. You know, the rand was banned. You know, was banned. It was Kruger, and there's a lot to that too, because some people thought the apartheid movement was actually a diversion by the British to strangle the Afrikaner government. Because I was really against that part. Why did they have to go and ban the rand altogether? You know. And they had a two-tier. South Africa had a brilliant system of a two-tier rand system, one for commercial and one for financial, you know, which was great. Mandela should have kept that when he got in office. So there's a lot of nuances to this whole thing, but it can't be understand that Nelson Mandela, when he got out, the first people he thanked was Black America. He said, "You guys will always have a place in South Africa. We thank you for all what you guys done. Without you, I would have never been brought to the table." That's a fact. Nigeria also helped South Africa during the apartheid thing, but not as much as Black America did, because we're key strategic in America. After that sanction South Africa, that's when the world white supremacists turned on us. That's when Howard Beach happened. That's when international people started talking about this myth about black crime, black welfare, all this stuff like that. They've been throwing that at us ever since that time. When we flexed our muscle, right? The international media and the racist media system been coming after us, right? And also one of the biggest thing is they try to turn Africans in Africa against Black America by exaggerating Black crime and all this stuff like this. That we're all this nonsense. So Mike O doesn't know his own history. He don't even know geopolitics. He don't know what's going on. Somebody like Mike O is a good guy, but he's dangerous. If I got to fight a war, I'm not going to put the good guy on the front line. I'm going to put a warrior on the front line. And Mike O is not a warrior. He just don't have it. You know, you don't have it in him. You know, it is what it is.
I think he got something to say.
Yeah. Well, Tuesday night, we'll do a show Tuesday night. He can say what he wants, you know. Unity is not a kumbaya. Okay. Yeah, unity. Tell Asians about that. Asians are making Asian youth have a future. They graduate from high school and college and whatnot. They got all these new cities all over Asia they can migrate to. They go on to eat in nice restaurants and malls and everything. Look at Africa right now. Sierra Leone, they're riding the streets because they can't afford basics. So tell me about that stuff. Africans, I said Freetown and Monrovia should have a high-speed rail, telecommunications, pipeline, everything connecting those two cities. Did anybody listen to that? No. Nigeria and Ghana should have should be coming together under one trading zone for the whole region. Is that? No. Nigeria's doing it alone, Ghana's doing it alone. And wonder why Ghana's going to the damn International Monetary Fund for the 18th time. Well, we don't know nothing. We don't know anything. You know, apartheid ended because of Cold War. Shut up, Mike. Shut the heck up. But anyway, Brother Bomani, man, is that all tonight, man? I think we did almost 3 hours, man. Going 3 hours, man. I am tired, brother. We're gonna be back on Tuesday or next Saturday. Wear both of them if you want. You know.
Yes, Kala. Yes, brother. Appreciate the energy, and it was all good.
Yeah. You see how people coming in now? Did I tell you? People will find you whenever Kala Genesis is around. People somehow will find you. They'll be here, man. So, you know, we thank Mike O for coming around and whatnot. Tell any of your trolls, Chasm, and all these other people, you know, tell them where I'm at, just like, share, and subscribe, folks. You know, like, share, and subscribe, so you can get notifications when Kala Genesis is going to be on. This is going to be my principal platforms. I like talking, and I don't have 20 people on here, and when I can say what I need to say, you know. And when I do Dynasty of Brandon show, I think Dynasty I get more stuff out. Brandon, I might get 20% of the stuff out with that, you know.
Brother.
You know, but I love them too, brother.
On big screen, you're live on Revolutionary Cam.
Yeah.
Just like our Crazy Boy came over here, and I was like, brother, speak your mind. That's what we do. You know, open up, speak your mind, and we just talk and analyze and learn and grow and build a better future. But anyway, brother,
talk is no good. We got to talk. Maybe we argue. We got to talk. You know, we got stuff to talk about.
Absolutely. So, brother, appreciate you again. So we keep it strong.
Black power. Yes, brother.
And we'll continue on another live, another day, another time, and we'll keep it strong. So take care.
In the words of the Negropean, another day in paradise.
The Negropean is back.
Watch out, everybody. That's gonna be interesting. As Kala Genesis and Bomani goes up against the heater, because he ain't done it. Didn't I tell you he wasn't gonna go away? I didn't tell you he's gonna come back and whatnot. Didn't I tell you?
He's feeling very emotional.
You know, what does that lead to? Like Thanos, man.
Talking about how talented his wife is, and she's a star and everything.
Yeah, porn star.
So on.
Hilarious, man. Hilarious.
Yes, man. And appreciate you being there for the clip. I know you was laughing when you was
hilarious, man. I'm dying laughing, man. All right, brother. I'm hot you, man. All right, brother. Black power. Peace.
Yes, family. So the journey continues, and you take care. Appreciate everyone joining us as we continue to dialogue on our connection of reconnecting to Africa and reconnecting us as a people to our greatness as we work and push forward to African nation building, repatriation and investments and all those wonderful things. So journey with us, family, and take care and good night.